gentlemen, welcome back to the Essentials TF coverage of the Insomnia65 LAN, brought to you by Marketplace.tf. I'm Eckstein, joined by Alba and Dom. Thanks for joining me, guys. And, well, the action is continuing to heat up here on day 3. We're in the lower bracket finals, and we got Feint Gaming versus 7 coming up. Now, Alba, you know, who do you think the advantages lies here in terms of like warming up? Do you think it plays to the advantage of Feint to be able to get a game against a solid opponent, face a little adversity, come through that, or be 7 and be able to like, kind of chill out a little bit, get a little bit more rest, look at their demos of what happened last night against Ascent NA, and you know, perhaps find a scrim against Ascent NA or any of these other teams that are out there?
I think personally for me, I would prefer the Feint route where you get to play a close best of 3, get warmed up, get pumped. But that being said, the extra rest that you get and the extra time to watch demos is valuable. But I still feel like Feint has a little bit of advantage since 7 they went out to the lower bracket yesterday. That's going to maybe beat them up a little bit. You know, not feeling perfect, but that being said, it's still going to be incredibly close this game.
Yeah, and last night, end of the night match, we saw 7 just getting, and it like went down to the final seconds of that match, 7 getting knocked down in the lower bracket by Ascent NA. And Dom, do you think there were some things that 7 did last night you might want to kind of just refresh the audience on, that they might need to look at as they get into this match today?
Yeah, to recap, obviously it was like 2 fairly one-sided maps, right? You had Gullywash, which had a low scoreline, but that's how 7 plays that map. They never really lost control. On the other side, Snakewater was the complete opposite. Ascent NA just pretty much ran through them for the majority of the game until like a little bit at the end, where 7 figured out at least, maybe not to win, but to lose significantly slower, which doesn't help in the end. And then you had a very close final map, and it just goes to show that maps are such an important thing that you can't underestimate, and that's the advantage obviously Ascent NA has now over any of the other teams. So 7 is forced to look at what went wrong on the bad maps for them, not just against Ascent NA, but also against any other team they played before. And they need to figure out their weaknesses. They will have to play against the weaknesses. They can't rely on those strengths as much anymore.
And Alba, was there anything that stood out to you that last match, Feint, you know, coming away with victory over Ascent EU? Just a little bit of a struggle there, you know, 3 maps, but not too big of a deal. Was there anything that you saw that you would like to point out again that Feint might need to sharpen up a little bit as they move forward?
I think they looked overall pretty solid. I believe this is the first best of 3 that Feint picks up against Ascent EU, which is a huge accomplishment for them. So they're going to be feeling very good going into this. That being said, there's always things they can look at. I remember specifically there was once where they were trying to chase down Condog, and they went a little bit too far. Condog goes down, but Ams hits some magical shots on seeds and gets the pick on seeds where it shouldn't really happen. So there are these small mistakes that they can look at.
And we did see an extremely close group stage match between these two, actually going into Golden Cap. Dom, did you get any feeling from that, or just kind of your general knowledge of this matchup between these two teams, of perhaps how these teams might try to massage the maps? I mean, we also saw last night 7 turning in kind of a rough performance on Snakewater. What's your thoughts on the map pool here?
It's going to be interesting. 7 obviously will try to get onto Gullywash as quickly as they can. We saw, however, that Feint is fairly prepared for it as well. They played a fairly decent Gullywash overall this entire weekend, so 7's going to be looking out for what the weaknesses are. Again, like Feint have, over the course of the last few seasons, acquired a pretty deep map pool. I think the maps that they struggle on were obviously Sunshine. We've seen that. We've seen it over the past few seasons, Badlands as well being a little bit strugglesome. And those are not bad maps for 7 at all. So Feint is in a similar situation where they need to watch out what historically went fairly bad for them in comparison, and not have that be exploited by 7. Otherwise, it ends up like 7 against Ascent NA on the second map.
Another thing, you know, again, speaking kind of historically, as well as it's come up with my conversations with various players around and sitting behind us and listening to them in their preparations last night. You know, there's kind of just this feeling that 7 is a team that likes to get ahead, likes to get that 1 round on the board, and then after that, they're very comfortable with playing a slow pace. I mean, you know, even if they're on the offensive side of the map, you know, just kind of slowly creeping forward, not really trying to just rack up the points on the board. And, you know, out of Feint as well, we've seen, you know, some of their matchups, they've had some problems pushing into last, getting that final cap. Alba, do you think that that'll be an issue for Feint? Or, you know, if they do come down, that they will be able to break through 7's kind of stalematey play style?
I think Seven's holds in general are very, very strong, and it's something that could throw Feint a bit off, but Pup is very good at adapting, and I think that they will be throwing new things. They won't be trying the same thing over and over. They will be looking around in their arsenal and just giving it their all.
Yeah, and speaking about kind of the historic rivalry between these teams as well, you know, Feint, you know, not really had too many opportunities to play Ascent NA, especially on a LAN setting. At Copenhagen Games, we had Feint losing out to Seven, while it was Ascent EU making the grand stage. Dom, do you think that there's more opportunity to Feint to like bring out some unusual tactics against Seven here?
I would not be surprised. We saw, obviously, the off classes already come out in full force. The snipers on pretty much every scout and Gink on top of that have been in full effect so far. And on both sides, for that matter, Seven as well have like slightly strayed from the more traditional lineup. They put out the heavy every once in a while the past season at this event as well. So both teams have some like plan C kind of deal where if the general things that they try to do don't work, they have something that they tried out a few times. They have a decent idea how it works, what they can do with it. We've seen the other day as well, Gink with the baggers just trying to high bomb and just catch people by surprise with so many rockets that you just can't possibly lift them all. Both of these teams have like these tiny things that could make the difference when it comes down to it.
And you do mention the heavy, so I want to bring that up because that is something that a lot of Sixes players are fearful of. You know, certain unlocks have been restricted with a large amount of that justification being like, do we really want to see heavies at mid? And that's something we might see. You know, how do you think that Feint is going to deal with that? Is it going to be the same kind of class lineup, but perhaps, you know, focusing on those banners a little bit more? I mean, even the Beggar's Bazooka seems like a great option because as you bomb in, you can just throw 3 rockets on top of them. What's your feeling there? Do you think they might pull out the sniper or just kind of focus more on the tactics?
I think off classes are a decent way to deal with it, as in Sniper and Spy specifically, the pick classes. A heavy obviously slows down the game immediately. We saw in the mid fight with Ascent NA and Seven, Ascent NA just couldn't find a way in at all. Just use the slow pace to your advantage. Pick up stuff that makes you play in that pace better than otherwise with normal classes.
Sounds like we got a quick interview to jump through as we just get ready for this lower bracket finals. So we'll be right back with a little bit more analysis, but let's check that out.
Hello, as you might be able to tell, it's me, not TurboTabs, and I'm here for another interview segment. I'm also joined by a wonderful man here who will introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Jon, demo man, bus crew, cool memes. Glad to be here. Yeah, thanks for the interview as well, certainly.
How you been at LAN so far? How have you been feeling about this LAN this year? Anything special?
It's been incredible. I love LAN every time. It just gets better and better, and it comes with the right people as well. It does depend on who you're playing with, and I'm very fortunate to have 5 incredible individuals by my side. Obviously, the environment, it's different hall, so I have to get used to different setups and all that. But obviously, always going to be fun. Meeting new people as well for the first time as you. Sorry about that. Meeting with Cerny as well for the first time. Lots of others as well. Yeah, always happy to be at LAN.
Yeah. How do you feel about the fact that the Ascent boys are the NA team coming over this time instead of that one team that everybody fears?
That we won't mention for now. They'll stay nameless for now. Yeah, Ascent NA, lovely people, very friendly, and just sat down there. They're not there right now, but they're sat very actually close to us. And first impressions, yeah, really nice people, easy to talk to, much more, I guess, social than Froyo. I guess Froyo, they're here to win. Ascent NA are here to win as well, but with a pinch of friendliness and socialness with the EUs. It's always good to see them, and I haven't met them before, but obviously you've seen Yite on stream. Bot mode stream sometimes, a few others as well. Lovely people, yeah.
Speaking of streamers, who's your favorite TF2 streamer to watch out of all of the ones that you might be able to think of?
So many people in TF2 stream. It's so many people stream. I can't, I haven't got enough fingers to list like my favorite 10. But off the top of my head, I do enjoy watching Marmaloo stream. Doesn't do it very often, but when he streams, always good fun. Yite, obvious reasons, yeah. From some EU streamers, Am's always a nice stream. Yeah. I enjoy Aubreyak's stream as well, just sat there. Dutch demo, just sat there, yeah. Cadis is always a good stream as well. Most streamers are good, to be fair, in TF2. They're all really enjoyable. Most people are, like they interact with a chat as well. That's what I'm looking for, really. Interaction with your audience. Most of them, yeah. But the ones that I said, probably my favourite, yeah.
Okay. Right. If you had to pick one person from your team at LAN this year, who were you most happy and excited to see? Yeah, out of all of your teammates.
Right here. Oh. Well, I can't. What a mean question. I cannot choose. I love all of them equally. Have I got to choose for one? All right. Deox. Fine. But it's I can't. I hated that question because I didn't want to say one individual. It's a whole team. No. You know what? Yeah. But we saw each other recently, so you know what I mean. Everyone. I can't choose. Warped, Aubreyek, Martin, Aidlos. Obviously. Everyone.
Well, thank you very much for spending your very, very valuable time here. Good luck in the rest of the tournament if you guys are still playing.
Oh yeah, we're still playing.
All right.
It's a pleasure as always to join.
All right. Well, very, very much then.
Shout out to Sterny for that interview. He did a great job, but you know, put a lot of faith in Jan handing off the microphone there. You know, but Jan not going too crazy with his new responsibility. Great to hear from him, and also, you know, just overall TF2, such as a great community, I-Series, Insomnia Land, so fantastic for everybody to get together. On that note as well, we are going to be having the community photo happening out in the atrium at 18:15. So if you are on site, then please head over there. It'll be in between this series and our grand finals. That's a wonderful tradition. You viewers at home will, of course, be able to find that on Twitter. It'll be all over there. And we will have more interviews with community members as well that will be either showing throughout the rest of this event, or you guys will be able to catch on the YouTubes afterwards. So getting back to this match, though, let's talk a little bit more about some of the class matchups. Alba, is there anything that you're looking for there in terms of like how these scouts are going to throw down against each other, soldiers, or demos? What do you think is the key matchup there?
I mean, generally you have more experience on 7, but I feel like Lucas is really one of the difference makers. You know, Cadus, he pops off every now and then, but the craziest things we've seen from Lucas is just, yeah, he can do so much for his team.
And Dom, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that demo matchup as well. Also, you know, if you have different feelings about, you know, whether the scouts, the soldiers, what might be important. But do you feel like, you know, this is a new blood of Lucas coming in with some fresh thoughts, or that Cadus, you know, the old veteran, his like traditional way of doing things, and the caliber at which he does it will excel here?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, because usually when you just have the direct comparison, you know, you can just look at the direct performance the player has. But with these two, they have such a different playstyle that you can't just look at the numbers and say, oh yeah, Lucas did better, for example, because inherently he plays a lot more aggressive. He goes in a lot more. He leads his team a lot more and will take the responsibility in fights like that. Cadus is a little bit more reserved than that, is more on the backlines, and it makes a big difference for how these teams play. Obviously, they have inherently different playstyles, so in the end, like, every matchup is obviously very important. The demo one is probably the most like outstanding assets, like the most different one between these two teams here, where everybody else, it just really comes down to performing to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, and we also have a good medic matchup. You know, Raymond, kind of similarly, Raymond, like old school, old blood. He's just got fantastic heals. And then meanwhile, we have Seeds, who has just been coming in super strong in this LAN. He's also hitting some really sharp arrows. Alba, what are your thoughts on that matchup? What are you looking for there?
I mean, I think it's two medics that are good at like most of the medic plays. You have Seeds that is really good at telling when a mid is going bad and getting out with a scout. You have Raymond that just sometimes super clutch at situations, just stays alive where it seems impossible.
Mm-hmm. Now, as we're getting into this match, let's start to talk about some predictions. We've just had Feint, you know, pulling off these great like golden cap moments in some of their other matchups. You know, it's sort of tough to sell if it's just kind of a lapse of judgment momentarily, or if they're just kind of getting beat from tactics. Dom, do you think there's any issues there with the mental fortitude of Feint Gaming? You know, will they crack under some of this pressure? Seven, obviously, like a super experienced team on LAN play. What are your thoughts?
I think they've proven time and time again that they have this ability to just stay focused. They had these two incredibly close games during the regular season of TF2 with Seven, both going to golden caps as well, and they both times came out better. And it really just goes to show like what these guys are capable of and how strong their mentality is to stay focused, to not let the like slow methodical playstyle of Seven get to them, and just stay in it with all they have.
And also, you know, we did have Feint overcoming Ascent EU. Ascent EU, it didn't really seem like they were playing, you know, out of their norm. But at the same time, there were some tabloid reports about some wild behavior last night, and the teams perhaps not completely focused on their preparations. I know that Cadis is kind of a legendary kind of player coach, and that he, like some other people in the scene, is just really focused at these LAN events and making sure that he's prepared. What can you tell us about Feint's, you know, style of preparation? Do you think that they were working on demos all night, you know, hitting the MGE server for a bit, or did they just kind of go somewhere else, you know, get away from the computer, step away, chill a bit, and talk it out there?
I think I definitely saw them like arrive here early today. Obviously, they have to. We had the first game, but still, like I'm pretty sure they've been here like a good while earlier than SNU has been. They definitely took the time needed today to just prepare as much as possible.
Now, Alba, do you think we're going to get 3 maps here?
Absolutely.
And Dom, you as well?
With these two teams, it's very likely, yes.
Oh. And, you know, so we're going to have some more analysis to get through once we kind of get through each of these maps, as well as we know the map process. It's a little bit early, but let's go ahead and nail it down. You think it's going to be Feint or Seven taking it at the end of the day here?
I think at the end of the day, Seven has probably done a lot of STV work during this morning, maybe even last night at the hotel. I think Seven are going to take it 2-1.
2-1 for Seven from Alba. Dom?
I'm going to be the contrarian here then, I guess. I'm going to go, I mean, with the brand, with Feint, and believe in them, but I'm not going to doubt Seven's ability to make this a close game, and I'm going to just mirror Alba with a 2-1 for Feint.
Nice, nice. Okay, well, we're still waiting for the map picks to get in. Our game should be getting underway shortly, but let's switch gears a little bit. Alba, how's this LAN been for you just overall this weekend?
It's been very different. It's the first time I'm not playing at this LAN, and usually when you get knocked out, for me, end of yesterday, you have the rest of the time to just, you know, meet people and have fun. But right now I'm here doing the analyst stuff, and it's very different, but I like it a lot.
Dom, the same question for you.
Yeah, obviously very busy, right? We have to obviously prepare for every game and watch as much as possible, but at the same time we get all these incredible matches, so it's definitely, you know, we're getting our time's worth here, right? Like, we get to like first-hand experience all these great games, and certainly makes up for it.
Now, also to just kind of cover a little bit of this event overall, last night, you know, we were whittling down the teams. We had top 5 Suns were able to pull off the victory against Bus Crew. They actually did also take a match up against Ascent EU. We saw that series on our stream, which was pretty excellent to watch. The big bloke LAN guys, you know, they put a strong showing in. But apparently once they got to their matchup against Feint Gaming, they said, we've accomplished enough, and you know, we're good with this, you know, even if it's just a straight loss. We want to hang out with people at LAN. Dom, was that sort of a disappointment for you as a Feint fan, that you didn't get one more shot of seeing Feint perform there?
A little bit. Big Block LAN obviously have like performed really, really well this LAN, so it would have been nice to see them at least give it one more honest shot. But like you said, they did what they wanted to. They wanted to beat everything that was in the top 4 team, and they certainly performed for that ability really, really well. And they are like, you know, the sleeper picks this LAN basically.
Yeah. Now, we didn't get a chance to watch all the matches. You know, that there was the open group, Swiss format, then there was also the B tournament. But any other standouts, Alba, like just player-wise, that you'd like to point out that you noticed over the weekend?
I mean, KOF, top 5 versus Aura, KOF just popping off completely.
Yeah.
Turning that product around, it's a very strong performance from him, and he should be happy about it.
Cool. Same question to you, Dom.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the open bracket went on the entire time, where everybody also had like a great time for sure. And you know, a team like Busker, you would expect to make the invite bracket, but invite was really, really stacked. So they only got to the like really close games on the second day, yesterday. So they maybe didn't get quite as many close games on competitive games as they wanted to, but they still have shown that even without being an invite bracket, they can contest with the best of them here.
Yeah, and speaking of the bus crew, we got another interview that we're going to take a peek at.
Hi there, welcome to the interview stage here at Insomnia Land. We're still continuing with our interviews, and this time I've got the boys from the bus crew, but I mean, guys, please introduce yourself to the boys and girls at home, one at a time, please.
Hi, I'm Aubriac, pocket soldier for the bus crew.
And you, sir?
And I'm Deox, scout for the bus crew.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, now boys, simply the easiest question in the entire world. How are you? How is the LAN? You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying myself, despite losing our last game against one of the invite teams. But I'm excited for the next game, and I hope it's going to be a good LAN for the rest of the time.
Very nice. How about you, Deox?
Wonderful to be here as always. Always great to see everybody again, and you can't top the environment at LAN, so it's all good.
Now, you guys playing on the bus crew. Now, you two are usually coming from like a higher group or an invite seed or anything sort of along those lines. What's it like playing for more like an open bracket and then working your way up rather than say compared to an invite bracket? Like, I will start with you, Aubriac.
Yeah, it's interesting because I kind of was hoping that there were some open teams that were about the same skill as we were, and I think some of them did pretty well that I didn't expect to be that good, but most of the games were still like 5-0s, and we lost just one round in 6 games, so yeah, but it was still fun nonetheless. Yeah, it was nice getting kills and all that. Yeah, no, it's just fun playing the game in general. Like,
how about you, Deox? Did you find the open bracket a bit demanding or less demanding than usual?
Well, as Aubriac said, it would be nice if there was somehow 9 teams in the invite, because I did feel that although we were playing the open games, there wasn't really anybody who came close to us at all. So while it was a good confidence boost, the games we played, you know, nice easy 5-0s, we still probably would have preferred playing some invite games, you know, so we got some good solid practice coming into the playoffs today. So I think it would have helped a little bit better, but not complaining. It's been going all right so far.
That segues perfectly into my next question. I was going to ask you, because you've played in those open games and you guys have lacked the practice almost of the invite, do you think that seriously affected your chances here? Do you think you would have given so much more of a better performance if you got that chance with the invite groups? Or is it, you know, at the end of the day, do you think the result would have stayed roughly the same? I mean, you haven't finished the invite group yet, but we've seen your first match so far.
I think it would have been a bit different if we were in an invite group, because that game we played against the Frenchies earlier, I felt it was like, I felt that adrenaline. Like, it was a properly close game. It just felt different. Like the previous games went quicker. They were short games. This was also a best of 3, so yeah. I don't know. It could have influenced the outcome. It could have.
How about you, Dio? I mean, you've kind of answered the question a little bit ahead of time, but do you? So, I mean, is any sort of extra thoughts on this?
Well, obviously, if we'd played Invite, I felt as if we would have had a better, shot to the finish line, as it were, coming into today. Obviously, we had to play against the Frenchies today. Very, very close game. But I felt like because we played them first of all, we made a lot of little mistakes that cost us big in the end. It was very, very close. But I feel as if we'd started off in the Invite, we would have had a better road going forward. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's all very marginal. We had to perform today anyway, no matter if we're in the Invite or not.
Now, boys.
Maybe I can add something to that. Like the little mistakes that you talked about, like you can afford to make them in the open bracket, but against a French team that's in the invite group, it's going to be a lot more punishing, So that's how they got rounds on us. Yeah.
All right, boys. Now, I've been checking Liquipedia, and believe it or not, there's no origin story of you two on there. I've been searching far and wide, and I mean, I can find plenty about Banny and Kado, but I want to know the origin stories of you two. Come on, how did you get started in TF2?
Well, first of all, my brother bought the orange box way back when it came out, and I saw TF2. I was like, whoa, this game looks really goofy and funny. And then at some point, Idiot Box videos started appearing on the internet, and I thought it was so funny. I was like, I gotta play this game. And then I started playing, pubs and stuff. I got in a pub where I got to meet people properly, and we started a team. This is like years ago. So yeah, I just made a team with pubbers, and I wanted to keep playing. So I'm still here. That's how I ended up here.
All right, okay. How about you, Deox? How about you? How did it all start?
I think my story is pretty similar to a lot of people, as Sorbriak said. Started with the orange box back in the old Xbox days, about 10 years ago now, 2009, yeah. And then I think, same as everybody else, kind of naturally progressed. Like, this is great. What? It's on computer as well? Yeah. I'll get it on Steam. I'll get Steam, and then here we are, like 10 years later from there. Made my first start in competitive in Highlander. Did very well in there, Did go right there, and then natural progression, I think, was just to play sixes, and hasn't stopped since, and here I am.
All right, and just to round off all the questions, what do you guys think of how your journey has ended? Like, I mean, it hasn't ended, but what do you think of the point that you've got to so far? Are you proud of what you've done? Are you a bit disappointed? Just let me know how you feel. Tough question, I know.
It's a tough question. Let's say I'm proud to be here. Proud to be at LAN because this is my second LAN, so I don't go very often. But if I look back at my TF2 history, like I've been playing 5 seasons of mid. Like if I look back at that, I'm like, what have I been doing back then? But it's just good to be here. Yeah, it still feels accomplished. Yeah, feels really good.
How about you, Deox? What are you proud of your achievements so far, or you think there's still more to come?
I'm a little bit indifferent. I'm proud of what we have done, but there's always a bit of an extra push that we can do. Just always glad to be here, just to see everyone. That's the most important thing, really. But I think we can do better, and I think we will.
Excellent, boys, excellent. Thank you very much for joining me in the interview. I'm going to tip my metaphoric hat to both of you and hope that wish you the best of luck going into your future games. And anyway, I've been tayyy, this has been Deox, this has been Orbrick, and we'll send it back to our casters right now.
Thanks, TurboTabs. And we have gotten word that 7 are in their seats. Map pick ban process is underway, but probably still have a few moments here. I wanted to continue on the train of thought that TurboTabs was throwing out there on the bus crew, kind of asking them where they were at with the end of the journey. And Dom, I know you've done some coaching in the past, so I was wondering if you could offer some advice, just to all the teams that are in the open bracket, as well as perhaps any teams that are at home that are watching this and they're all huddled up and seeing this fantastic action and wondering, how do we get better? How do we improve? What do you think are the main things that a team could focus on in this next year as we lead up to the follow-up Insomnia LAN that will be coming up?
Obviously, long-term practice goes a really long way. You look at who we have in the invite bracket, and all but one team were pre-established, played last season, and even the one that didn't, Top 5 Suns, were basically just 2 teams thrown together with the people that were able to attend. So if you want to have a good shot at LAN, you need to make sure that you have a team that can go to LAN with as many people as possible, and use your practice from the regular season as much as possible going into this. You only have a limited amount of maps that you can prepare for, so prepare for them as much as you can. You don't have full control over what you play. Obviously, you don't know what maps the other team will pick or ban in like best of one groups for that matter. So you need to be prepared for every single like map and just have every option covered basically.
Yeah. Alba, do you have some thoughts on that topic?
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a new player, it's still worth coming to LAN and getting to play some of the other open teams. I mean, this year we even have the B tournament where the knocked out open teams get to play each other again. I just think there's no reason not going. You don't have to see yourself as maybe contesting the win at LAN. It's still worth going.
Yeah, a question that constantly gets thrown around in TF2 forums, discussion about competitive TF2, and that is how do I get into TF2? You know, I think as well, you know, another thing is, you know, usually one of the suggestions is to get on a team, but that actually is a huge process as well. Do you have any tips, Alba, for new players or players that have been playing in casual TF2, how they can get into competitive TF2?
Yeah, so let's say you don't know anyone in competitive TF2. I would strongly recommend to go play TF2 Center. You know, you can get some experience under your belt, you can make some new friends, and when you have a couple of friends that you enjoy playing with, you can create your own team, or you can throw up a rec post on TF12 forums if you're from Europe, and that goes a long way.
Now, sometimes I know I'm on the west coast of the US, and sometimes I come home late at night, and all the pub groups have kind of already died down, and really I could just hop onto a pub server. Now, just also for competitive players that are, you know, kind of low, mid, whatever, as well as players that are looking to make that transition. Dom, what are some things that you think that players can, you know, focus on in these pub TF2 matches? You know, it is a little bit different, but, you know, casual matchmaking nowadays, it does throw you into a proper match. You know, are there generic things that happen in pub TF2 that players can just work on to build up these background skills that will help in competitive TF2?
I mean, it's as simple as just starting to think more and more about what you're doing, and like even in just pub play, like you said, the more you question, like, what are you doing and what are you trying to accomplish, the better you have a preparation for actual competitive play, where that sort of mentality is obviously like highly necessary. So, I mean, a lot of people in pubs are, you know, casual players. They just want to enjoy the game a bit and just do whatever is fun to them at the time. And that's obviously varies differently between people, but obviously even casual players like that can be really talented. So if you always like make sure you're aware of what's happening and always are aware of your surroundings, then you have a huge advantage coming into actual competitive play.
Alba, do you have any thoughts that you want to add on that? I did notice at Copenhagen LAN that Raymond was working up his medic skills. I mean, you can't just jump into an MGE server as medic. He was hopping onto a pub server to get that heal beam all warmed up. What are your thoughts on that subject?
I think, especially if you're playing medic, there's a lot of ways you can practice it without actually playing competitive. I mean, even as you said, you can always practice arrows, you know, get the movement going in pubs. Even though you might not be playing as good players as you maybe would in an actual competitive game, I still think it's good practice because you get to, you know, get the feel for the class and get warmed up.
And we did hear what our map picks were. We're going to end up with Goalie Wash as our first one, moving on to Process, and then Granary as the final map if we need it. Dom, what are your thoughts on that? And do you think that, you know, now that you've heard the map, does that actually maybe swing it to a 2-0, you know, the way that the order of these maps are being played?
On paper, I think these are stronger maps for 7, in theory at least. Gully Wash, we've seen time and time again, is like their playground. They know exactly what they want to do at all points. Process is a good map for both teams, but especially on last, I think 7 has the advantage of holding and pushing it especially. 7 has like so much more structure, where Feint like often just looks just a bit underprepared for a last push, and I think that can go a long way when both teams get equal opportunities. That 7, I think, will be able to close out situations better. As for Granary, it's going to be interesting. Both teams have done really well so far on this map. Inherently, it favors 7's playstyle a little bit more, just being the map it is, right? It's Granary. It's a slower pseudo 7 CP map, basically, with the yard area, and that always slows down the game just a bit more. Always a bit in 7's favor in that regard. So Feint have shown that they can contest with 7's playstyle, and these maps will certainly force them to do that a lot.
Alba, your thoughts on the maps here?
Yeah, I find it interesting that Process is being played, but I guess the 7 changed their mind, because yesterday when they were playing Ascent NA, they actually banned Process and elected to play Snakewater instead. But I guess after that Snakewater, they're more confident and trying out that Process. It's going to be interesting to see how they feel on that map.
Yeah, Snakewater was certainly a rough one for him, so maybe choosing to shelve that. But the word as well from the grand finals is going to be that Ascent NA have basically won the right to ban 2 maps. We have a 7-map pool, and that means, you know, best of 5. It's going to be able to dictate the 5 maps that are being played. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out, as well as the particular maps that Ascent NA chooses, and basically the order that we end up with. And we actually do have the players getting pretty close to getting this game started. We've gotten your guys' predictions, so thank you so much for that, as well as your analysis. Let's throw it over to the casters right now, and our duo for this match is going to be Plunk and Adiski.
Hi, we're back again from like 2 days ago. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, Plunk. We are coming to an closure, you know, of this one, but so far we've seen games that are super close, back and forth. It's been going crazy. I mean, 7 getting knocked out into the lower bracket is, for starters, the first surprise that might come to some people. We have Ascent NA obviously ready to get up on the stage as well later on after this game, but who will they be joined by?
Ascent?
Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know. It's a toss-up. I honestly don't know. I do not tell. You know these players a lot better than me. You played with 7.
Oh, yeah.
So this is up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, we are about to really find out. We've seen a strong performance from the Feint guys today, where they might have played a little bit worse on Sunshine, but they were up against Ascent's, you know, best map, and on the other 2 maps, they were pretty much dominant the entire time. Yeah, but at the same time, 7, you know, the good old 7. Can you imagine 7 not making a stage at Insomnia? I think they've been up on a stage since basically ever.
Well, Crowns they've won I-58, so it's been like 3 years.
It must have been at least 3 years. And we can count in I-58 as well, because that's basically the same roster. So
yeah, it's just rebranded.
We've seen 7 up on a huge stage that we have over here, just around the corner, where there is a nice little game of League of Legends right now going on. I wish I was watching
That's
that.
not a gamer game, no. This is a gamer game.
Oh, this is the game that we are focused on. What are your thoughts?
Probably 7. I don't think a grand finals without 7 is possible. I don't think it'd feel weird. I don't want that to happen, you know.
I mean, before the LAN started and you told me that the finals were going to be Feint and Ascent NA, I would not have believed you. You know, 7, as he said, just been there basically every year. I think they're going to take it away this time as well, even though Feint were basically playing the same maps that we are going to be seeing today. Our first 2 maps are going to be Gulliver's and Processes, as the guys already, analysts that's already said. And as we are going live,
we have started.
Way, Plunk.
Yeah, well, it's not just started yet. I can't see anything. I'm blind in one eye. I'm not. So, Captain, that's what I see right now, is rolling out. Now I see Cadius fast at mid, right off the bat, getting sticky. One of the medics, fancy elbows, just doing his thing. Starkey, Silentes is behind, getting Lucas and Thomas right off the bat. Has a demo and Scout down. Feint not looking too strong. As Siege goes down, everyone's down to Lash and Starkey doing bits right there. It's only Gink in Classic Live. Gink might try and do a wee play. It's up to him.
And this is a trademark for 7, right? They are playing right off the bat with 2 of the Solis just jumping the enemy combo straight away. And they've just done so much damage combined. I mean, Zalenta is just picking off Lucas and a second frag as well at the start of the make, basically the secure set for them. Easy peasy, and they're all looking at a full Uber advantage taking over the second point. And you see Feint in their full force trying to hold on to this last point. As 7 is pushing into this top right shutter area.
Yeah, they've spotted the Lucas trap above just outside shutter room, and they know the strategy they're going to be pushing in right now. They're going for the sentry. Everyone's just going to jump on it. Flash, but going to try and maybe bait the point, maybe not. In fact, there's a soldier in secret. They're not going to be playing the point. I think they're going for the pit right now. Both soldiers bombing. Thomas getting the air shot on Silentes with a deflected rocket. Classic goes down. Captain and Starkey also. This was a hold and a half for Feint. Yeah. It's only Raymond up when he just killbinds. He's like, nah, not the day.
That was such a good hold from Feint. I mean, you gotta give them credit where it's due. They had these soldiers hiding on the lower ground, which is basically 7 just took over to the top right area. They were like, okay, as soon as our Uber fades, we are going to go on that point and try and cap it out. But there were 3 players basically just ready to just pump damage. And now they're looking at going into mid. We see Starkey on Sniper.
Starkey, Sniper, let's see, I don't think they've been spotted yet, I don't think he's been spotted, but they're all in big doors, so they might be suspecting something. Starkey missing one of the shots, it's over Classy, getting Salentes, we're just going to back out, no point taking the fight. Seats is hiding, he's behind a little bit of cover, here we find, we're going to go big door, bit of a risky play, I think they're going to be using in, Soldier trying to initiate a little, initiate a jump, get a little bit of space in, jumps up, sees Stickies, Cadis doesn't dead in time, everyone, they're all caught out behind.
So aggressive into River. Everyone from 7 is dying, and this is a collapse. This is an absolute cleanup. Cadis and Captain going down. Now holding glass with only 4 players. Sentry gun still not being built. It goes actually down. There is no presence on the point. Things actually already taken over the last point. And this might be the last second defense as Tayyy goes into heavy and this comes up. How did Fame die there?
They were, it seemed they were really slow going in. We had, I think it was Thomas on the pipe. He was shooting the sentry, then Lucas came in. It seemed very disorganised. They got out, you know, they never lost a medic, but Cadis is already at the spawn. They have a sniper on Fate right now. Misses the shot. Thomas is going to switch back, make sure he stays as the fast man, scout.
You really have to take these last pushes slow, especially if you don't have supercharged play. Freddy, Kalash going into drop down, so does
everyone else. Yeah, maybe they're going for it. We do see a bomb on Cadis. Cadis hitting both heights on Gink right there. Doesn't matter, Classy's going to come in and get the frag on him. I think everyone's going to try and collapse onto them at elbow. Raymond he's forced to use a scout, ran up on Banana and got him. It's a trade, but Raymond's left by himself. He's just connected by a scout. They're going to boost out, but there is players behind on top.
Huge point right now. He's alone on Seeds on mid.
It doesn't matter, Pappy's behind on them, but Classy, well, he never. Seeds is still alive. Doesn't matter, Pappy's not anymore, he's alive, but, you know, it was a distraction play. It worked. They got the med. They traded meds.
It was a very weird position from 7. They pushed into mid so confidently on that supercharged advantage, but Seeds very well known for building his supercharge twice as fast as every other medic in the game. He's ready to counterpop entry damages, securing the second point here as well. Ubers are pretty much even, and Faint is probably going to be looking into busting the last point as 7 is setting up with the good old Sentry gun on the top left spawn area.
And Jimmy, in fact, I mean, they're just going to wait for Uber to probably bust in, you know. Maybe they're going to get the pyro up once they get the gun up to a certain level. Both scouts are just building right now, but what is Seeds up to? He's building Ubers rapidly. What is the script? He's faster than... Oh, the lash is on Spy.
I'm telling you, Seeds builds Ubers faster than every other medic in the game. They literally started building at the same time, and we see this 10% advantage. It may seem not like much that in some of these crappy fights where you're barely getting supercharge, it's always going to come in handy to have it, you know, sooner than your opponent and just catch them off guard. But Cadis with a good old double dunk.
He's going for the age strat. Pyro, Sentry gun, and loose cannon. That's just weak. I don't really want to cast this anymore. Look, he's standing at the window. He's like, nope, not today. He's no want to push into that, not at all.
So how do you break this stalemate?
Go through River.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the only opening. But Cadis with the double, you know, he's not there to do damage. He's just there to be annoying, don't back people.
Yeah,
how do you try to go there for a sack fight and then instantly right? Salentes is broken as well as starting the second. Captain going for the counter stack, but yeah, it is trading for Pappy, so now it's 4v5. 7 seems to be on the lookout on top with Kalash.
On Sniper.
Kalash hits one of his trademark shots. I've seen this in the frag video so many times, just over and over. Kalash in this spot, just picking a medic.
Yeah, they have spotted them though. Seeds is just going to be in choke, waiting. And I don't think 7 really want to push out. They've got a sniper. Although Thalash is a god tier sniper, he's, you know, there's one player down, they have scouts, they've got Classy and Tomas, you know, don't really mess with them. One scout down, and I think they're going to be, Fate's going to be making their way back in right now. Just try to edge their way in, bit by bit.
And 7, you know, 7's, they have no reason to play aggressive or taking any risks. They really don't want the stage to, you know, slip from their hands. They really want to secure the final against the Sen. You see Ging jumping in a couple of rockets and starting really well, but
yeah, I don't know what jumping into the sentry is going to do. You'll get a rocket or two off, maybe a bit of damage, but not much.
LHP can into Shutter from
Siege gets a shot and Siege, but doesn't get the headshot. 84 damage. Siege not happy with that. He's had a shot on at the demo. They know about it. They're aware of it. Classy is still waiting on Lord. Maybe he's waiting for the Lash, but the Lash is up top. Siege knows the Lash, the way he plays. He's hiding behind the point. The Lash is getting spammed out, nearly dying to spam, in fact. Oh, that was kind of a yikes.
And Feint is pretty much adapted at this point, especially the Seeds. They know that the only counter strat that 7 have, if Feint is going to sack in someone, 7 don't want to take any risks, so they only lead with their sniper. They are not going to be throwing any bodies and trying to get the force of to get out of last. So Seeds is going to be much more aware in the future about the sidelines.
And with the setup they have right now, I don't even think 7 need to use Uber if they try and bust in and take a trade. They've got a Pyro, a Sentry, Cadis on double donks, or Loose Cannon. You know, it's kind of cringe, but you know, that's a hope.
Maybe Papi's going to bust out his battalions or a buff banner or a corner to try and get a trade in. But so far we are just seeing single sacks from Feint. It's not really working out.
Oh, Papi, he was completely gimped there. Gink jumping in. Not getting in. Classy is in as well. He's on Cadis. Doesn't matter. He's going to hit the stick on him. That was
there was a melee fight up top of Silentes and Papi just Pain Train versus Escape Plan, and it looks like Escape Plan is going to win it out, but Captain's so deep up top, already on C.
Oh, the pipe, Lucas. What was that? I mean, there's no way that Captain comes out of this alive. There's zero chance of him coming out.
Captain's still in this choke area behind and trying to get anything done at 36 HP, just roaming a bit. Actually finding Gink alone on mid. How did that happen?
It doesn't matter. Gink got him. He's gamer down. Gink with a... It's not even Christmas, it's like summer. It's like 27 degrees. Why is it that?
It's literally summer. Get rid of that skin.
Yeah. What are you up to?
But now Captain actually spotted Gink, so they know that he's going to be sniping. So they're going to be expecting, you know, something along those lines. So trying to get out of the sniper sideline, but when you see 3 players Gink headshot onto Captain, and he's still looking for more for this main area, and it looks like everyone's just lining up for him, especially Cadis. If he moves an inch out of that box, he's basically a walking dead man.
Silentes does get Papi though. That is, they're both, well, one's just got a spawner, so Feint are down a soldier, and that's not a good sign so far.
Especially when you're running that sniper, you have to really play it super safe when you lose another player. If they lost maybe 2 players and they were running a sniper, I think 7 would be looking forward into pushing out of loss. But we've been in stalemate for 6 minutes now, Punk, and I am not satisfied. I have not seen any major play happening. It was literally the single soldier sacks, 1 headshot from Gink. But it looks like Gink is going to be setting up from the main area again.
Yeah, Gink, he's looking he just unscopes his cap, just gets in the sight line there. But he's going to be going river now. Maybe try to take a hero shot, jump up in the vacuum, get a wee shot in. Yeah. He's peeking around slowly. Captain is spotted. Silentes already hits a body shot on him, 150. They're aware of where he is. He's got a sight line on Cadis, hits a headshot on him. Cadis getting arrowed right there. Sees him, gets the shot, 360 damage. Easy peasy, he can get it there. He sees Raymond, but he can't quite hit him. He's in the dispenser, he can't do anything. He's, maybe, come on.
Raymond's just standing by the
no.
pillar. I think they're going to be looking into using this Uber, but so many players dying left and right from the 7 guys, and they get forced off. If Feint goes really fast right now, the gun's already going down. And the Uber is being used. The only person on a point is Captain, and he's going to go down to Classy maybe.
Yeah, no, maybe not, but the Thomas he's got the beam on him.
And another hit from Gink. He's getting picks left and right. 3 players up standing for 7. This looks like it's going to be round for Feint unless a miracle happens. We see...
Gink with another headshot to Lash. Feint taking the first round.
And that's going to sting. Holding onto last for what felt like an eternity, and then you just lose 2 players at once. And Gink, he could have hit those shots, you know, on Raymond. Raymond was basically standing still, but they still made it work, and it's going to be 1-0 up for the Feint guys, and we are coming into mid. Kate is super fast, but getting actually crushed by Classic, but getting high nice Classic gun.
Oh, Salentes is in deep as well. Starkey getting a 2k. We have a Gink on Raymond. He gets Raymond and Kadish with a single rocket. That's a 2k to Lash on Gink. It's a weird fight. The Feint, oh, we have Thalash in the background. Lucas nearly hit the pipe. Oh no, but that's going to be a clean up with Starkey there. Oh,
that was such a nice mid from Gink, getting those two crucial picks on the enemy's side. I think he got Cadence and Raymond with the same rocket, but Lucas missing his crispy second pipe would have definitely made the highlights of this LAN. But we see 7 pushing through choke, just try pushing, no Uber advantage, no player advantage.
There we go, Captain's up top right now. He's being completely harassed.
Behind the ball.
Oh, it's not good. Seeds is also down right now. He was bombed there by Salentes.
Gink's looking for the big flank. They're expecting him though. Starkey's on the lookout.
Cadis knows he's got his big range. Gink jumping in, completely denied right there by the scouts too. Why would you even jump that? He tried. You got to do something.
And 7's going to be rolling into the last, but it's 4v4 and they don't have their Uber charge ready. They really have to slow it down here.
Slow down the other way, but we see Lucas just walking in.
Lucas just walking in, no respect.
Yeah.
7 with Uber, no respect for Lucas, you know. I'm just gonna walk into lobby, try and 2-5 the medic. We've seen him do that before at this LAN event already, so I would not be surprised. But we see the same setup from the Feint guys. You have basically 3 players on the lower ground just ready to defend that point, and 7's using in-truth river. Uber charge going on Thalash. Starkey's instantly underneath, just trying to play the point, but Lucas is trapped. Just nice him.
Splash bug, doesn't matter. Dies either way.
There's so many players on the point.
Oh, Thomas getting Salentes and Cadis. He got the reflect pipe. It's only Raymond left alive. He's going to need to hit the kill binder. He's going to get out, but they do have force one. There's so much cap time on the point as well.
So good with these last defenses. They are fully aware of what 7's plan is. They really just want to take the top area, and then eventually, once they push them out into spawn, they're going to start playing the point. But Feint's just ready for that. They have like 4 players basically scattered all around the point, just ready to block that at any point. Now, Feint with the full overcharge advantage there.
They're losing 2 players. Oh no, they've lost both scouts and they're going to push in. They're not got the demo. The demo and Soldier's just been flashed. A lot of Uber's just been wasted there like that. Captain's still alive and elbow. What the waste of an Uber. Scouts were too eager. Thalash and Starkey getting the rest of the frags. Only Seeds and Gink left alive. Not the best.
This is classic Salentes and Gulliver. She still doesn't lose Gulliver, man. I'm telling you, he's just an amazing player on this map. He has all of the knowledge. He knows from which position to hold and when to strike.
He's in.
Uber being used from 7. Seeds is nowhere near his Uber charge.
2 down on the side of, well, 1 down on the side of Feint. Gink down. The Pyro's going to be harassing Raymond. 30 HP. He's going to get, he's on flames. They're going to need to do something with 7. They're losing players left, right, centre. Starkey getting classy. But it doesn't matter. No, yeah, classy. Not what? Oh, wait, that was a frag from the Tix.
Kate is the only one remaining alive in the secret area. I think he's just going to be stalling that out.
Can poke it. Oh, he never has the fight. I was expecting something a bit better, but you know what? That's what happens.
Another great hold from Feint. I mean, 7 very notorious for being very successful in pushing into Gulliver shots, and just beefing 3 pushes in a row, that's so uncharacteristic. And now it's going to be another full Uber advantage, and this is Stark.
Now this is going to be interesting. Stark's waiting just by the side. They're going to use in. Maybe they already predict this, but we do see Lucas going in deep, forcing them out, but not getting any fractures. Starkey's still waiting. He sees them.
Salentes is behind as well. I think they're going to be striking at the same time.
Maybe Salentes is. Yeah, I think Salentes is doing a distraction play, maybe.
Stark is going all the way to Feint's second. It looks like he wants to rotate into truck, but Salentes is in from behind.
Yo, can he get the third rocket?
Seeds going solo, but Stark is ready to unleash his revolver shots onto Seeds, but
he's spotted, gets it, the top! He gets the top! No, he can't! He tries to get the revolver shot off, but it doesn't matter. 7 are going to come in and get the clean up on the rest of them, just like that.
And if I was Feint, I would not be expecting that. You know, if 7 is going for a play...
Oh, Lucas!
Oh.
What?
A BM kill on Talash, but what I was saying is that 7 is not very known for sacrificing 2 players for a play, so we saw Silentes going in from behind, and then Feint was definitely not expecting a spy play at the same time. But now full overcharge advantage. Seven's just taking it safe from the choke area.
Yeah, they've got sticks down, waiting for bombers. Raymond was in choke there for a second, but Papa's just going to be building with Siege. They're going to get out. No point taking it. They don't have Uber yet. Thomas on Pyro up in River.
And my bet is that Seven is going to think that they have overcharge advantage, but Seed's already on 85%. He's going to be able to build that in spawn, but Seven's already using into last. Sentry Gun's somehow staying alive, even up the entire Uber, but Seed's is ready with his own Uber. But 2 players going down already, Lucas and Ging. If Feint's not going to find any frags, Seven's going to be able to repush, but everyone on Seven so weak.
And disconnected.
Have to get out. Raymond is pretty much alone with Kalash on the top.
Oh, everyone they're collapsing on, everyone
collapses on the point. Papi's the only one left alive, and it looks like Seven's going to be able to secure that. It's going to be 1-1 tie game with 12 minutes left. We're going for another mid-fight. Blanc.
Another one? Another one. I hate myself for doing that. I apologise to everyone in stream and in the crowd. Pints on me. Now, what do you think is going to happen this mid? Because last mid, that was a bit, you know, both sides were doing well, and maybe they'll pull off something else like this. Ging off the bat on a Cadis. He knows that hits the second direct. It's easy peasy, just like that. Going for the Minecraft. What is Ging up to? He's still alive. Doesn't matter. What was happening there? Thomas was getting. Thomas and Classy still going on. Slentes and Captain going down Cadis as well. It's only Starkey and Raymond left alive. This is.
Raymond's already out. I mean, this is what Gulliver Schmitz are notorious for. If your soldiers are doing work, then you are basically the free shoot after them. And that's exactly what we saw the first mid from the 7 guys, where Silentes just went huge with Captain at the start of the mid, and now the second mid, just Papi and Ging getting 2 kills right off the bat, and Sony was just forced to run with, you know, between their legs into last. But even Uber's pretty much the same situation as we've seen before, but the sides are switched.
Yeah, Ging on Sniper again. See what he gets up to. He's going to the lower, trying to get a wee sightline. He catches Starkey maybe, but he's on Pyro. Maybe they've spotted him. They've seen the little dot. That's good that they've seen that. They have brains, that's good. But let's hope this is not another 10-minute stalemate. But, you know, they both have Uber. They've got the setup. They've got the loose cannon. Looks like they're maybe trying to park the bus again. But look what happened last time. What that happened.
Oh yeah. The 7 is also very known for just being able to sit out on the last row, basically ever. They're, you know, just going AFK, getting some subway while they're waiting for the enemy to push. But I've seen Ging on Sniper before, and I was actually watching him live. I was standing behind
That's the body shot.
He hits a body shot right now, and he's able to hit some very crisp headshots, especially on the land environment as well. And he's getting so much space here in main.
Yeah, they're respecting the Gink too much. They're giving him so much space for no other reason. But he's taking a hero shot off the balcony there, but couldn't get the sightline. Maybe he's going River now. He'll try and jump on the bat, a little rack there. Go for a hero shot on Raymond, who's just cutting about in the other pole.
And everyone from Feint is rotating into River as well to basically protect their sniper as he's trying to get a pick, but Ging is very slowly trying to get this angle. I think he's just waiting for Cadis to run out of ammo at this point.
Oh, he's getting that's a little bit too close for comfort. The loose cannon bombs just ending right there. Captain going in a little bit aggressive, try, you know, flush him out. Seeds there to back him up. But Classy's at water.
So
he's
low.
caught out.
In the meantime, Classy falling down, he was stuck in the water there and just easily cleaned up by Silentes. I want to see what Seven's going to do. Are they going to send a counter sack, or are they just going to send it out on the last? I think that they're just happy to send it out on the last so far. No one seems to be ready to go for a play.
Apart from Cadis, who's getting
Maybe
traps
so
up.
far forward that Bobby, he can get crushed right now. And
it looks like they are. He
oh,
protects his, predicts the jump or an aggressive push
that
to
was
get
too
him.
close for a comfort, and Cadis is one of those players that rarely makes any mistakes, so that was very uncharacteristic to see him so far forward out of position. But same plays, you know, Ging's still on Sniper, we see Tawa and that sentry gun set up, Raymond holding inside of his dispenser.
Strong man. Ging again pushing or looking into lower there. and everyone's not on the sideline. The respect they're giving him is not even like funny. They're literally just letting him walk across and not die or be shot or spammed at. It's not like he'll get spammed out in River, but he's not getting spammed out there. So maybe he'll keep on going there. I don't know. He's at River right now. Maybe try to get that, but the captain jumped in.
That's going for a deep bomb.
Kate is getting classic. Oh, that's 2.
That's 2 picks, and this opens up so much for 7, and they're already on to Hans. Starkey's leading the push actually through the baby door, and he's going straight into mid.
Oh, but they're rotating around.
Feint is actually ready to just wrap around. I think that's actually what they want to do. There's no one watching that lower door.
No one's watching, but Starkey comes from behind. He's doing damage. The force has to come off. Lucas goes down. But Starkey in the trade. This is a bad Uber. 7 also on the Uber. There is a scout.
Thomas is already on last, just trying to slow it out as well.
Yeah, I think some players are going to go back. There is a captain waiting there for him.
But Feint soldiers doing so much work. Again, jumping in, synchronized, getting 2 kills. Easy peasy for Gink and Papi. And this opens up so many options for the 7 for the Feint guys right now. As Talash and Captain are down, and there are no off-gases on the last other than Starkey. If they're able to focus down this heavy, it should be an easy push, but they're taking too long now, and the respawners are coming in. But we see Gink going for a point play with the Gink train, getting a little bit of Captain, you know. Classy. He's doing the classy. You see him up on Spy. I think he bumped into Cadus actually. So
I don't think Cadus actually knows. He was turning around. Yeah, he's not noticed, I think.
No, I don't think he's noticed.
But we have Talash and Sniper. He's in a lobby. Now being a bit aggressive himself, looking at Shutter, see if anyone's willing to peek. Classy on Spy, spots Raymond and Talash, waiting for the right moment where they're both distracted. But
and now with that information, Seeds is just playing in the super.
Cadus spotted him. He never did anything though, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, Classic got spotted now, and it looks like he's about to go change. Strong.
Yeah, maybe he's getting a buff.
He's gonna run all the way into last. I mean, they got plenty of time. 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes on a bounce timer. 6 minutes left. It's 1-1. You really have to take it slow against a team like 7. You can't really be making mistakes, because once you make a mistake holding onto the enemy's second point, it's gonna become very difficult to hold onto your own last if you just get a leapfrog this. It's the usual where 7, you know, they're holding onto their last, and then suddenly Talash gets a 15k and they get a round.
Classic. No, I don't know. Maybe what season was it?
Last season Pyro.
Is it?
I think they're gonna go for a water plate of some sort.
Maybe the cringe play, but they're.
I'm going to the classic camp. I want to see what's gonna.
I'm on the
what's happening.
Gink camp, who's already in water.
But 7's so ready for that. I mean, Kate is spamming the corner and Talash and drop him down.
Yeah. Oh, Pyro v Pyro, extinguishing his teammate, getting everyone off the point, but it doesn't matter. Starkey with the frontier justice, going to clean him up with that. No danger. Now, what they're going to do now? They've lost 2 players.
Kappa's ready to take a fight up top, but it looks like he's losing against Papi. But 7's still pretty far up top. Kate is pretty much a walk.
Talash, if he's going for a hero shot, misses the shot on his Siege there, unfortunately. Captain go down, gets the force on his Siege, but the flash. Now that 7 have advantage, they can do what they want now.
Now, I don't know what 7's gonna do. I mean, it's a 3-minute round timer. They do have the recharge advantage, but the backup potential. Always think about the backup potential. Papi, no, I think it's Gink that's running the paint train right now. He could be jumping behind, you know, going for a fun play. But we see Talash and Raymond taking it over to top, and they seem to be ready to use. And
yeah, I think they're pushing them out. Captain going in for a bomb, getting just a wee bit of splash damage around it, but he's bombing in again. And Feint in choke. They're not ready for this. They don't want to fight it. They know they'll lose it. But Papi's running the battalions.
Yeah, there is so much on the line. I'm not surprised if Feint just giving up on the second completely. But Seeds building his Uber faster than ever, ready to defend this midpoint. And I think battalions is gonna be the thing that's gonna be breaking this round, because you are really looking at these tiny advantages when you're going for a scrappy finder. Like,
oh, Papi! Hello!
Shots onto Captain, bringing him down to like, what was it, 30 HP?
Yeah. Papi just going in, trying to get some damage off He knows he's getting at 20 HP. You can take an extra rocket or two sometimes. But, you know, Battalion is nearly built up. It's just another rocket or two away. Or maybe a couple spam rockets.
Maybe 2 spam rockets away.
Yeah. The captain up top knows the plan. Happy to see the rockets coming from down, but he's trying to get the scout up in the rock, but that's just wasting ammo.
But I think 7 are 100% expecting what's about to happen. It's definitely going to be an undertake and then a battalion spot right after, right? Like, what else can you do with the battalions? You can do, you can actually do like a double stack with soldiers flying in with that damage reduction. And that's actually very useful, but you see Raymond so far away from the choke area. He's playing in his hidey hole below the balcony.
Pappy's going to probably rotate, maybe get another splash rocket too. He's not been hitting anything for the past couple seconds. He's still just like a tiny amount away. He just needs one splash rocket and that'll be him.
If you were Feint, Blanc, would you be happy with the tie and maybe go for a golden cap? Do you want to play it safe, or would you go for these crazy flashy plays towards the end? I think that's what Feint want to do. They want the clock to run down that so they can't get rolled to their own last, and then they're gonna go for some crazy flashy trade with battalions as well. But now we see them moving into this bigger area, just trying to get as much ground as they can before they are using their.
Yeah, they're making their way slowly but surely. Thomas is going to go in and Kane is really aggressive, getting the uber trade off, and it looks like they're going to get out. And Happy popping right off the bat.
Gink picking up a frag on flank opens up so much. Now there are 2 people watching choke from 7, but the resistance is nowhere bigger. The battalions is doing so much work. Everyone from Feint is just flooding to choke, and Sevenstein left and right. The only 2 players remaining alive are Tawash and Celentes, and they're both getting queened up. Starkey's the only one that's getting a spawn, but he's up on a heavy, but without the beam, you can't really do much on heavy.
Yeah.
He's getting ganked, but he's getting spammed down by Lucas, but it looks like it's going to be a round for Feint. It's 2-1 for Feint. 1 minute left on the clock, and it looks very promising for the Feint guys. I mean, can you get a round in about 50 seconds? Is it possible?
Theoretically, if you get like everything, you know, right.
Build a gun on second. If I was Feint right now.
Go ahead. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they know that they could take it.
I think Feint's just going to play super slow and pass mid.
Oh, I'd say that. Cadis is already down by Pappy.
Dead by Pappy. Great bump. As I was saying before, these soldiers are just doing so much work on these mids for their teams, and this is coming from both sides. I mean, look up at the shield feed. It's literally 5 kills going to soldier class. The scout class is not existing this mid, but basically the map's over. Raymond is the only one left alive. 26 health going down to Lucas. Easy frag for the logs. 8 seconds on the clock. GG Scout in chat.
Yeah. We don't need to get another round. No need to DM like that. So, you know.
Give it up for the Feint guys.
Feint, you've got to give it to them. That was a strong game from them. They did well. I wasn't expecting them to take it, to be honest. I thought it was going to go to 7.
I was saying before, I mean, Feint has already played these maps. They're warm. They're ready to take the stage spot to play against Ascent and A. And in a best of 3, when you win the first map, it's such a confidence boost. Like, 7 is under so much pressure right now, and I don't think Granary is one of the maps that they want to go into. Granary's been one of those maps where 7 was struggling a bit in the past, and Process just notorious for Lucas. Lucas is a monster on Process, and that's exactly what I'm looking forward to on the next map.
Yeah, the soldiers and Lucas in this map are doing well themselves because Gully is a projectile class, basically, or projectile map class. It favours Demo Man and Soldier more than, say, the Hitscan classes. But that does not mean that the Hitscan classes never let down at all, because they never. So I think we throw this to the analysis now. I think that's a good time, in fact, because we've got another map, so take it.
All right, thanks, Plunk and Diski. Fantastic job casting. And also just an excellent match. A lot of crazy stuff going on there. Lots to talk about. Dom, just your initial reactions?
Yeah, it's really impressive that Feint can beat 7 at their own game, right? On Gully Wash. The entire match was the pace 7 wanted. They controlled the pace for a long time. Fein had a good bit of struggle early on with like actually getting stuff started on these sort of stalemate situations, but eventually they figured it out. It was like slowly figuring out how to do the 7 style last push where they just slowly but surely apply more and more pressure until eventually you have like everything happening at the same time where 7 can't deal with it anymore. So the adaptation was really, really impressive by Fein here.
And initial reactions from you, Alba?
That banner play was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Where you just push in, have an Uber trade, and just then re-push with the banner. 7 should have probably been ready for that because they knew Pappy was on the banner, or they probably did. But that was such a beautiful play and led them to win this Gali map out.
Yeah, certainly there was a lot of unorthodox aspects to this game. And when we also kind of saw the pace slow down, that's also where we saw some of these kind of off classes and stuff. Kind of the first initial push from Feint, it was an interesting kind of battle of off classes. 7 were offering the engineer and the pyro, and then really it was Gink on the sniper that was able to kind of break through that. And again, if you don't have some of that outward pressure from the typical scouts or a sniper yourself, you know, that kind of opens it up. And then we actually saw Feint doing a similar defense, but 7 were bringing a little bit more of a traditional offense against that, and that defense held from Feint. Dom, do you have any thoughts on kind of both teams utilizing that similar defensive setup, but Feint being able to break through?
It's, I think, a bit more of 7 just not quite being able to execute the way they want to, I think, because we know exactly what they're capable of doing here in this sort of scenario. So Feint doing it better is like highly uncharacteristic for 7. And this was their map pick too. This is their comfort zone here. It's not going to get easier from here for them. So they need to figure out what is going wrong in these situations for them.
Well, let's get into the logs here as we have those ready for us. And we can get back to some analysis of the off classes and whatnot later. Things that stand out for you, Alba?
Pappy, absolutely huge. 23 to 12 and 300 EPM, or 298. That's absolutely huge.
Yeah, not always the soldiers that are on top. We see Captain up there as well. That's also sort of surprising that he was max damage, but just single-digit kills. Dom, anything you want to say about these damage numbers?
It was like a fairly slow game at times, so seeing the scouts at the bottom is not too surprising. You can't really go in and initiate. You often sit down and off class as well, be it sniper, be it pyro engineer, where damage is like very, very sporadically just coming your way. So you need to make the most out of every situation given to you in that sort of circumstances. Otherwise, again, like Alba said before, Pappy being the rock for the team here, being just the tank basically. Sure, it might be in Lucas's name, but Pappy just as much as one for the team.
Now we also got our additional stats up here. I would say probably the craziest one up there is going to be the 13 air shots by Pappy. Pretty nutty. Alba, anything you want to see on this screen, or just a shout out for Pappy?
Yeah, shout out for Pappy. Nothing really too strange on these logs.
Well, popping over to the medic logs as well. As we can see, heals per minute, pretty close. Seed's almost pulling out about 10% better heals, though. 1160 to 1060.
Yeah, I mean, Seeds is incredibly good at just continue building, and I think in the end that's probably the difference in these stats, just how proficient he is at building. We do see a little difference in the heal spread. Seeds opting to give up a little bit more into Pappy, and I feel like it was justified. He had banner quite a few times, and it's so good to just tank your solid then and let him build up that banner.
Now, certainly one thing that I thought was, has been interesting about Feint that we've seen in this LAN is the off-classing, the unorthodox plays. It actually did seem like, 7, when they did get a breakthrough, it was off some unusual tactics. Basically, we had, as the casters did a great job describing it, Starkey was kind of hiding in that corner on midpoint. Seemed like kind of a classic scenario of like, oh, he's just going to uncloak at some point. And then, initially I was confused because it's like, that was a great position. Why is he leaving it? But it was to coordinate with Salentes, have Salentes come in, do the attack, and then Starkey followed that up in a much more unexpected fashion, getting the double stab. He also then switched into Pyro and was successful with that as well. Both those plays helping 7 to get their round on the board. But of course, 2-1, not quite enough. Dom, do you think that as we move into process, some of these unusual strategies that we do know that 7 have, you think that we might see a little bit more of that?
Yeah, like these two matchups that they just recently played, both against Feint and Ascent NA, forced them to get out of their comfort zone. And I don't think it will be any different in the next coming maps, be it just against Feint or if they were to win it or no against Insomnia65 coming into the Grand Finals.
Yeah, and I mean, we already knew that we were going to have a new global champion of TF2 here at this LAN. 7 also being the ones that won the most recent international LAN at Copenhagen. And it does seem like, perhaps there is this kind of changing of the guard, changing of mentality, new tactics that need to come out. I want to talk a little bit more about the banners and also as well, just kind of explore it a little bit. Alba, do you think, that is the route to pop the Uber charge and then use the banner? I was almost expecting myself, off of the placement of the players and kind of the circumstances of them being a big door, trying to push in a second. I thought they might just use that banner to get some pressure in and then get a pop from 7 and then respond with the Uber charge. Do you prefer to use it as they did, though, after an Uber charge?
Yeah, absolutely, because I think 7 was expecting the sack to come in with the banner. When you trade the Ubers and you come in with a banner, you have such an advantage going into the fight because you take way less damage. So in theory, it should be a win, and it worked out great for them.
Yeah. Dominic, any thoughts from you on the banners?
Yeah, it's like highly map dependent, highly banner dependent. Obviously, there's 3 choices. Maps are obviously very different. If you have like a wide open area, the conch seems like a much better choice. Even the buff banner, sure, it doesn't have like the passive benefits the other 2 have, but just the negation of damage fall off and increased damage can just help out starting a fight a lot, or just make getting a force easier, for example, while the conch obviously covers distance better, and you get a little bit of your health back, which is good for everybody not actively taking part of an Uber fight or something like that. So they all have benefits in certain areas, and in this case, obviously, like Albert said, the battalion's backup was used really nicely. You have damage resistance, use it when it counts, use it when you don't have invincibility to just overpower your opponent in situations that they can't deal with it too much.
And Alba, do you think that process is a map where we might see Conquer come into play a little bit more, or buff banner, or do you think it's still kind of battalion's backup might be the go-to for soldiers in regards to a banner?
I'm not sure which map it was, but it was might have been Sunshine where we saw Gink on the conch and we saw Papi on the battalion. So they were running 2 banners. If this game turns out to be really slow, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see both of them coming out. And 7 got to watch out for those.
And as I pointed out as well, we saw a little bit of unorthodox defense, at least in terms of changing from the kind of quote-unquote standard lineup of 6s. As we get into process, talking about that last hold, for either team as they're looking to choke it out and put up a strong defense, do you think we're going to be seeing engineer with sniper or engineer and heavy? What do you think teams might choose to drop and replace? Also, I guess, to kind of add to that question, is it going to be both scouts or both soldiers?
I think...
or a soldier, excuse me.
Yeah, I think the most common thing we will see is probably on process last defending an NG and a sniper. And then sniper taking 1 shot, swapping to heavy. I think there's something like that we will see. Maybe even the triple off class with NG, heavy and sniper. But I definitely feel like the loss is so open, so you can really force a team easily by just having that sniper class in the doorway of respawn.
Dom, some thoughts from you on the defensive last and possible off classes we might see there?
Yeah, I think, like Albert said, those are probably the most viable choices. Pyro is in a lot of situations decent to defend the last point with. Obviously, you have a decent time negating damage, but one of the important factors of Pyro is not so prevalent on process, which is denying entrances of people. And you just don't have the comfort of being fairly close to spawn while also being fairly close to any sort of entrance into last. That's just not something that you can really afford to do here without just risking your own life and immediately going down one player like you can on a map like Badlands. To an extent on Gullywash, even if the meta shifted away from standing on the shutter door as Pyro there, it's still obviously still fairly viable, even if the gun protection is still good, which we could see something like that. Maybe people start adopting the sort of Gullywash idea of just protecting a gun with the Pyro and then swapping off, maybe then going heavy, maybe going back to Scout, depending on what the exact situation of the fight is.
All right, as we get ready for this next match, I want to give a couple quick shout-outs. First off, we do have our LAN fundraiser still going, LAN.tf/fundraiser. We have some very special things that you guys can get there in terms of merchandise, as well as you guys can continue to contribute towards Ascent.na recouping their expenses for attending this event and contribute to the prize pool, still growing. Also want to make sure to shout out #I65TF2. A bunch of us have all been using that over on Twitter, keeping the conversation rolling. Of course, that's where you're going to find that community picture. And before we come back with a little bit more analysis, we're just going to take a quick ad break. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, map 2 coming up shortly. certainly a huge shout out to Marketplace TF, not only just for the support of this event, but all of their investments that they've thrown down in the world of TF2. Now, before we get into this next match, we got a little bit more time to talk about some things. And Alba, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the 1-0 push that Feint Gaming did, and your thoughts on that and how they executed it.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful push. What they did was they got Gink into a very good position, River. I think he picked off Captain before he got into that position. And at that point, there wasn't really anyone on 7 that wanted to contest it. Kedis was trying to spam, but Gink stood there for like 20 seconds scoping on that pillar, waiting for Raymond to take one step out. And at that point, there was so much pressure on 7 that players started crumbling on other exits. And it just ended up with Feint getting 3 picks and 7 getting forced in a bad position.
Dom, anything else that you want to chime in on that push in particular, or just 7's defense?
Yeah, I think that's something we both noticed, which is that 7 looked, a bit shaky, a little bit not quite like themselves. Those are the situations they want to force on the opponent, and those are the situations they usually are able to avoid really well. They've done exactly that and didn't struggle in those situations in anywhere close as much against Ascent and A in the last match on Gullywash as well. So it's really strange seeing 7 being put in that situation and then being the ones themselves to crumble. They need to get out of whatever bad mentality they are and be able to work through that.
Yeah, certainly it's easy for a team to think of themselves as being top of the world, but to not realize that perhaps their skills are slipping to the new blood that's coming out there, actively throwing themselves into competition and really challenging the best players that are currently out there trying to take them down. Now, I did have a great conversation with Pappy from Feint last night. We had an interview that we'll maybe throw down air between this series and the next series, regardless of the results, but also continue that conversation with them, off camera. I don't, with respect to them and what he said to me, I just don't want to share, active tactics for these teams in the middle of a tournament. But did just want to talk about this concept in general, tips that you could share, Alba, and I'll get to you, Dom, but tips that you could share on just kind of the concepts of pushing last. What are you trying to accomplish? What are the main goals, besides obviously capturing the point, but what are the objectives to really get that done?
So I think the hard part about pushing last is that it's basically a split-second decision, and everyone needs to be on the same page. So there's 2 or 3 things that you can do. If you see that they're holding way too far forward, and you have Ubrad, get as many kills as you can. But often teams will play so far back that maybe playing the point is an option. In some situation, if you have a big Ubrad, it's worth just Ubering in to get good position, get the gun down, and then take a second fight from there.
Dom?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about that quick decision making, right? You need to immediately realize what is the situation at hand, what is our win condition, right? Depending on where they are, what do you need to accomplish here? Are they close, like Alba said? Can we just take a lot of space, force them back into spawn? And that's something that 7, for example, struggled on Snakewater with yesterday quite a bit, and it took them a long time to figure out the win condition, which was eventually just going for a repush, and Ascent and A adapted more counter strategies to not let them even start the repush. And it took 7 way too long to make the necessary adjustments here, and it comes all down to just really quick decision making to make the difference here.
Yeah, and one thing that I kind of thought of with that match, it did seem like when we were between the first point and the last point, it did seem like 7 kind of had that edge. But obviously they gave up 2 caps, 1 more than their opponents did. So on defense they looked a little shaky, and on offense maybe a little bit shaky on that last point. Do you think that was true on this last map? Do you think that's something that we can expect in this next map? 7 kind of outperforming a little bit in the open play, but once we get into either the defensive side of holding last or the offensive side of pushing last, that 7 were struggling over Feint. What do you think, Alba?
I think 7 will probably come out looking a lot more confident in the next map. I think Kedis will talk with the boys, and they'll rally their thoughts and get more synchronized and get on the same page. Looking at that last map, Feint's last defenses were extraordinary. And when you looked at 7, it felt a little bit shaky. It felt like something was off about that defense. I don't know if it's something with this tournament or this lineup, or if it's just this map, or how it's going for them. But I think Kate is going to be talking with them coming into the next map, and they're going to solve some issues.
Dom, do you agree with that kind of general assessment? Do you think that 7 was shook? Do you think that Cadis can shake them back into place, or was it more of just kind of a general map struggle, a tactic struggle?
I think they really weren't quite playing like themselves. If you asked me yesterday, I would have never like given it a second doubt that 7 would be the ones dominating on the Gully Wash last scenario. If you asked me in like the span of like the last year, I would say 7 is one of the best teams on Process last as well. But if they can't get through whatever is going on at the moment, then Feint will take it all the way. Even if Feint, I often criticize the Process last play being often like, a little bit too one-sided, either on the left or the right, often trying like the 6-man approach through one doorway and just busting open one half of the map together, when most other teams tend to just split up like 4-2 more traditionally. So 7 has seen what their struggles are on Gully Wash. It's the first taste of what they need to improve here, and they don't have much more time. There's 2 maps left, if even that, if they win this one.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they are facing elimination here. This lower bracket finals. You know, 7's definitely going to be disappointed if they come out of this in 3rd place. Do you think that it's going to be easier for Feint to just kind of keep their head on straight, you know, power through this next map, and even if they lose this next map, do you think that they will be able to power through on Grainer Alba?
Yeah, I think that if they win this map, they will get the momentum, but it's still going to be a really close game, and Feint is looking scary right now.
Any final thoughts from you, Dom, before we throw it to our casters?
It's going to be definitely a really, really close one. I'm looking forward to it. And as much as I want Feint to win, I think it's the best for everybody watching it if we reach that 3rd map.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. I'm sure that we're going to have an exciting game ahead of us. And to take care of the commentary for that, once again, we have Plunk and Adiski. Take it away, guys. Nice, guys. Another.
I mean, I went outside after the map 1, and you can just see 7 in like a circle in a corner, trying to discuss what went wrong and trying to prepare for the next map. But they really didn't let anyone around them. It didn't look like they were very happy about losing their map pick out of all the maps. You know, that's really something you don't want to do, especially in a best of 3. You have that upper hand where you pick the first map, so you get that motivation if you win the first map. So you really want to be winning that, and losing the first map in a best of 3.
Not the best.
Yeah, it's 7, so you never know what's gonna happen. 7 very good at these comebacks, playing under stress as well. But Feint's map, Feint's pick.
Yeah, and Lucas is notorious on this map.
We've seen Feint play against Ascent today already on this very map, and it was a clean cut 4-0, basically a roll where Lucas got more kills than anyone else on the server. I think he got like 28, and the next player with the most kills had like 19 or 18. So Lucas, an absolute monster on Process. He really loves the sticky traps on this map, the spam sidelines. It's so open, and most demo man mains don't really like this map, but it looks like it suits Lucas's playstyle.
Yeah, and also this is probably going to be, if 7 get 3rd place this year, that'll be a letdown for them. That'll put them, you know, kind of give them a wake up call, because they have been kind of, you know, not really not that they aren't good players or not practice. It's just they've kind of been lacking.
I know what you mean, like not really practicing and still getting the easy wins anyway. But yeah, I mean, these games just getting more and more close. We've seen 7 being really dominant at I-61. We've seen 7 being, for the European part, being very dominant on I-63 as well, but actually securing 2nd place because of Froyo winning that one. And with the lack of the 2nd team mentioned here, it seems like they were really looking for the W this one, but it's in danger.
Yeah, the W might not be as easy as they once thought. They thought, yeah, we rolled these guys in TF2, easy peasy. There we go, easy money this land, easy, you know, like $4 grand, easy. No, they're getting a run for their money.
Yeah.
You know, Feint have showed up this land, they've did their bit, can't argue with it. Same with the rest of the teams.
It looks like we are going to be going live over here. So first mid, pretty shadow classes on both sides. We don't see any sniper, no shenanigans, and selective throw and
rapid, like, he's already there, so is Lucas. No damage on each side just yet, just kind of get the spam across. I think, Gink's waiting for, he's going for the long con, he's waiting for the big bomb. He's going in, Cap's going in, he's jumping to the side. I think Salente is in there, IT. Again, probably jump up. It's just kind of, they're all waiting for each other, they're not really doing much, it's just kind of scrappy. Feint, all together, they're all weak compared to 7. I think they're giving us up, they're playing it safe, not really doing much. Oh, see, such a rocket.
It's good. I mean, from both teams' perspective, that mid was super slow. No one wants to be taking risks going into the second map of
Starkey behind.
bracket final, but Starkey behind getting cleaned by Kwasi. I mean, Starkey, very well known. This is his map as well, where he's going onto these flanks, but Gink falling down as well in the PC area. There is no one watching over the flank from the Feint. I mean, Kwasi's on the watch, but it looks like 7's getting ready to try push into this Al-Qaeda area, and maybe Captain's going to be bombing in. But actually, we are seeing a trade popped on Cadis, but Feint's so far back.
Seeds milking that hard there. They're going to have a much better over, like 40%. They try catch
Feint
it.
actually getting called out, and this is looking so good for Feint because Seeds is out of there. I mean, he's getting flanked by Cadis. Cadis is rolling into top PC, but he's actually killing Gink, but 7 somehow managed to pull it back. Cadis barely surviving on 9 HP.
9 HP God, honestly.
You don't
12 Kado. Was he not? I thought he was at 9 HP. He is at 9 HP. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He hit pipes left, right, and centre. 12 Kado, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, we have all these, you know, the Feint just played the safe. Seeds milked each other up to hell. And now they've got a big Uber ad. They can wait till they have it. Lucas is intro.
I really want to see how they're going to be taking this push into mid with only around 40% Uber ads. You really have to pick from which choke you're going to go, and it looks like someone doesn't happen are not giving up this choke area for free. Uber coming in, and so many 7 players
Lucas
forward.
is going in deep so far.
Oh my god,
just
what
like
a bomb!
that.
And Captain kills himself on by just shooting Lucas as well.
Starkey going in, he's
himself
not
in
gonna
the choke dying. And Raymond's on 80%, but only Tawash building Uber with him going into last, but all 6 up for Feint. It looks like Feint is just gonna go roll into last. Raymond might barely get this Uber, but no second captain?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is no one captain second? Feint?
Well, hello, I think they're just spawn camping, I don't really know. The lash on Pyro.
Raymond actually getting
Uber.
forced off by Ging, so good. And now it's gonna be a 60 to 70% ad for Feint, but 7 is looking like they're gonna go forward through rollout, and Feint is gonna be forced to give it up, basically losing Kwasi in the process as well. This is gonna be a difficult repush for Feint, but they're already moving into PC. I mean, they only have their demo and their scout. The rest of their team is very disconnected.
They've used all Ruber already. They're going to need Chase Lucas jumping in, messing up a bit. Thomas is in with a winger. Cadis is also down. Captain is only them up.
But again, there is no captain on the second point.
Oh, this is kind of cringe though.
You really just have to be capping these points. I mean, sure, they can secure last, they can be fighting, you know, spawn camping a little bit, but by the time they're going to get the second cap, there are going to be respawn waves coming in with Cadis, Captain, and
Salentes!
and that's it in a crazy air shot.
Air shot, yes. They're mining that ore in mid-air. You can't do that in Minecraft. It's not a gamer. It's not that good of a gamer.
And
Raymond
now
has
7
Uber.
with full Uber, one to push out from one area. It looks like actually going out from lobby, using their Uber, but not really getting much. It's just gonna be Kwasi going down, but Feint Soldier's already jumping in. Papi's instantly going for the side, but trying to get out. Small damage, but Uber being popped.
Seeds!
He's just
where was he?
Forward. Seeds is literally playing Mercy, just flying after his teammates. What's going on there? Since when is Medic able to do that? But
Salentes goes in for the bomb. Captain not getting the follow-up shots, but Seeds is left in behind 10 HP. They're going to get him. Sleets has a long spawn time of nearly 10 seconds now. Raymond's going to spawn. That's going to be a 30-40 ad.
That's going to be an ad for 7. And it was a very scrappy fight. It looked like it's going to go to the Feint guys in the end, but somehow it felt like 7 soldiers just with the huge bombs getting it towards the end for their team, and 7's already tried pushing into mid. They don't need to actually push into mid, but Feint's already just set up a mid. I don't think this is going to be working that well. Papi's already behind in sewer, trying to distract him by time for his team to set up better. And Lucas is already pushing over.
The last down.
Winning 1v1. Blank, and so many frags going for the guys.
Oh, everyone behind Lucas. Thomas, what's happening? Oh, it hits their shot, and Slentes, their Stark, only left alive. He's going back to last. Maybe Feint will actually cap second this time so they can go to last and win the round. It's up to them. But they're getting spawners there. Most of their team have just spawned. Raymond spawned. They're going to have heals. But Uber's nearly coming. Lucas nearly getting headshot by Talash. Going to eat quick. Lucas jumping in. Get it! Pipe into Talash just like that. He's going to go down. Has to go stand on a point. There's so much cap time. They just need to get all the players down. Captain all down. Starkey. There you go. Just like that. Another round to Feint.
And it's going to be an opening round to Feint. I mean, finally we got a cap from Feint. I mean, it looks like there is an issue with config, so we might be going into pause.
What's the issue?
But it looks like we are going in anyway into the second mid. Both Delman rolling out. Cadus so much faster than Lucas taking a pack, and Dina is.
Silentes even faster. He was in their ID rapid, like 12 Kato, by the way. He's that fast.
Silentes is already set up for this fun play. I mean, Feint is not even on mid.
They don't want to fight.
Out.
They don't want to fight. They, as Banny would say, fear question mark. I'm waiting for it in the chat. Oh, they need an admin. Never mind.
And now we see the game post. So that was a very confusing mid. It looked like at one point that Feint was just typing in chat instead of actually rolling out the mid. We saw them just being grouped and choked, not actually taking over any ground. I don't know how this situation is going to be handled, but we are already working on the config fix. Give it up for our great admins.
Thank you, Ash, whatever you are, and Henny, and Ioshi. They are what make this.
I mean, it's pretty much a miracle that Insomnia 1 is not getting delayed by. I mean, we've seen some delays on the day one, but that's to be expected if you are having server issues, and the scheduling's always going to get shifted a little bit. But so far, can't really argue. It's incomparable to, you know, last year where we started the finals basically at midnight.
5 hours, I think it was, the delay. It was a mental delay, but this year we can't be delayed because LoL have servers that work, unlike CSGO.
That's great.
Which is on Monday morning, which is weirdly coincidental that TF2 is before CSGO this year.
Yeah, I mean, TF2 is still alive. But let's talk about the game more. 7 is looking dire. 7 is looking dire, and they are probably going to use this pause as a tactical pause as well. They're going to be talking about what they can do. I mean, they secure the mid. The Ubers are looking pretty even. Raymond on 10% more than Seeds, but it's probably going to end up in some kind of sack or an aggro trade. We've seen them trade before from the Al-Qaeda area. That didn't go that great. They just got basically just cleaned up and pushed out of their own mid. But Feint's looking really strong, Bunk.
Yeah, I think Feint might be at the grand finals, to be honest. 7 seem to be mega tilted. Every X level of tilted.
And the game is actually unpaused right now. And Feint, as I was saying, looking really strong. Already 1-0 up in the second map, winning and securing the first map as well. What's going to happen? If you were 7, what would you do?
I'd be drinking all night if I lost. If I won, I'd be drinking all night after I win grand finals, forehead. But it's a toss-up this year. I think, you know, both teams have Uber. Oh, Silentes fighting more than he chewed. Genk only 24 HP coming out of that fight. I think he was expecting a trade there, but that's one down.
And Feint doesn't even look like they want to do anything. I mean, usually you want to go.
Feint are going to do something now.
Happy actually messing up his jump a little bit, getting cleaned up by the trap from Cadus, but we are looking for a reset right now. Silentes is already kind of in a fight, so maybe 7 is going to do something about having, you know, one-man advantage, and they're moving into the sewer area and far left, and they're already taking it in slowly, maybe setting up for a soldier stack again. And Captain's already jumping in, but Seed's so far behind. Just taking mere 20 damage and surfing away.
As Seeds always does. His control, he must have a strong pinky if he can press control that good. Or shift, whatever he thinks it's weird.
The stronger you press your crouch button, the further you serve the rockets, that speed.
Yeah, that's the theory behind it. That's the 100% confirmed jumper main theory. There's no doubt about that one right there.
And I'm surprised we are not seeing any offcasts from 7 so far. I mean, pushing from mid into second, it's very easy to set up a play for your sniper where you are taking over the sewer area and you just open the shutter door, get a couple of shots in, but 7's just going for another Saxalantis
Captain and no, Slentis, sorry, he did a bit of damage.
He did a lot of damage to the scouts, but you're not really looking for that scout pick when you're trying to break the stone. It has to be medic. Worst case scenario, you're looking for that demo man pick, so you're easier to go in. But Pappy, even Raymond only getting one rocket off, Raymond going down to 80 HP.
Poor Pappy, that's the second time he's jumped in and been completely denied. Like, utterly, like, not even, like, rapidly.
It looks like both of these things are very well set up, but Captain actually going in, but Faint's not really expecting that. Seed's only catching one rocket, but I would not be expecting that either. Like, you send one soldier and then you're expecting for that soldier that just died to respawn before 7 doing any kind of play, but that was a very well timed from Captain. As Captain went down, then Silentis was, I mean, as Silentis got up, then Captain was already jumping in, but Stark is running back.
Yes, I mean, I think Faint are taking a page out of 7's book. Parking the bus, they have a roundup, they know they can maybe get to the grand finals if they just park the bus. They know that. Yeah. And we have Starkey on the off class right now, Starkey sniper. So this should be interesting. See what he can up to. But probably try and make some room, get a soldier or two. It's up to them, to be honest.
First pick is definitely gonna go through sewer. If I was 7, I would definitely go sewer with the first pick because it opens up so much. But Starkey is actually positioning up on top of mid with an interesting sideline, and not many people expect that sideline to even exist because there is a rock in the way usually. So if you are standing in front of the point, you're gonna get body shot at one point or another. Oh, it's going dangerous as well.
Starkey try to hit the shot onto the scout in mid-air, but just misses it. He was like, he was really weak. He's in sewer right now. Maybe go for a shot. He's looking at Al Qaeda. Nothing's going to be coming there. Captain here, back up Starkey. The entire 7 crew back on Starkey.
Thomas is literally AFK on defense. He's probably going to get headshot as soon as the door opens.
Oh wait, they spotted Seeds. Oh, they took a shot at Seeds, never got him. Starkey, full charge shot. He's going to try and pick again. Doesn't get anything else. He's waiting for a one frag, a singular frag. Anything. Come on.
Wallbang, just shoot the wall.
Click the head, forehead. Go, kill them, please, do something. This is boring now,
Everyone's hiding behind the walls. I mean, there is not much to shoot under other than just pure textures and walls of the point.
Lucas did get shot by Stark here, as you can see him fly away. He was not having that.
Faint is playing so passively and they're giving up so much ground on it. They're actually not aggressive. This is
Happy in, getting the lash.
And now no scouts on the 7 side. This opens up a sack possible towards Raymond. I mean, you can't really be denying flying soldiers unless your sniper hits like a 150 body shot in midair. I want to see what Faint is doing with this, but it looks like they're not going to be doing anything.
I was expecting a Lucas bomb, to be honest. I let double, so I don't know. This is Lucas, this is his map. He'll do all sorts of stuff. He'll just jump in at a choke and two-pipe someone or pipe and sticky.
That's a desperation play. I mean,
yeah.
You only do that when you really need a sack and you really need to get shots.
Oh, gets Lucas!
Lucas and no demo man. This opens up the cross area so much.
And they're all hiding up in IT though. That's the worst part they're going to need to use.
Getting the force off, but that's probably going to be the only body falling down from the side of 7. Raymond going dangerously low, but staying alive. Thomas swording Stark.
Just, I mean, it's hit with the sword. That's the Boston Basher. I don't know. Classy was in, trying to bite off more than he could chew. Everyone's in, trying to get Raymond. He hit Uber. Everyone's falling just to get him right now. As everyone has spawns on 7, and Classy, Pappy are just down.
And Faint is pretty much forced to fall back to their last. I mean, you can't really do much. You really have to get that gut going. 7 really good at taking their Uber and just playing the point straight away into last. So you really need some strong defenses. And as we speak, Kosty's already setting up, but it might be too late. Second's already capped, and 7's already ready to use their Uber in.
Yeah, we have a soldier up top. Silentes is going in the secret, getting the medic. The heavy was there. He does get Seeds with the Varrola rocket right there. That's that down. Seven are going to be looking to take this in any second now. Everyone's up there. The Heavy's just now useless apart from doing damage to those armed Ubered now. Sentry's gun's going to go down. They're going to spawn trap the doors now. Flash has just stood on the point. They just let him stand on. No one's doing anything.
Look at this collapse. Seven is taking so much damage. Their bodies trading left and right. Classy, Lucas, and Seed. Actually, now only Lucas and Seed staying alive, and it's gonna be, you have to be hitting shots like all of your pipes. You wanna be defending that, but Seven securing the round, and the game's now tied Plunk.
Ooh.
That was a crazy play from Solentis. I mean, getting that medic pick before you even use your Uber in. You'll have to see that. That's basically an easy last push.
Yeah. Kadis. Oh, that's like that. Kado is like 2019 Kado now, not 2012 Kado. Lucas so fast, just shooting pipes in, not hitting anything. They expected Lucas to be there. We have a high bomb coming in, or fake now, going on to Kadis. Kadis goes down to Papi, but Papi's going to go down at the last. Salentez down as well. Starkey getting ginked. So they're just trading shoulders, it looks like. And although Kadis is down, Dalash onto Lucas right there. He's just walking up, just doing shots on him. Dalash is dodging. No, it's not Dalash. It was Classy was dodging him even. Dalash was doing all the damage. Sorry.
That was so much different from the first mids that we saw. That was pure aggression from the Feint boys. Just pushing over the top area and just basically bullying Seven out. They really tried to make something work. Kate is falling down instantly in that mid, so no damage output for them. And then Seeds just barely bobbing and waving, you know, around mid. He was basically just flying all over the place, staying alive for his team.
They got the Gink sniper though. They decided they got him sniper. He takes a shot at the Lash, but he misses and gave himself away. And they know there's sticks at Sewer, so he can't really make his way there. So this may be another one of those stalemates. But Gink is going to get flushed out with all the spam. Demo and Soldier jumping in, get him out. They looks like they're going to be rotating into Sewers, possibly. Get them all ready. Raymond is behind the little metal barrier.
And this is the usual setup. We are just opening doors for Sniper, trying to get a peek. But Seven is playing this situation so much different than Feinted. They're playing super aggressive with their soldiers right by the sewer doors, so you can't really be peeking through the door. You're just going to get spammed.
Yeah, Gink aggressive again. He's
Gink
shaking.
is standing on stickies right now. If Kate is dead to stickies, Gink would be dead.
Gink, madman. He's just, they're giving him so much space to go on and choke. It's not even funny. They had a line of sight there on Cadis for a second or two, but he couldn't quite get the shot. It was like Captain bombing in. Get Lucas and Gink in the one go, and he's going to go down there to Lucas's pipe. Wait, what? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The Lash is in and on the Uber, the beam. They're taking a trade right now. It looks like Seven has a equal Uber advantage, and trade is relatively fine. They're going to need to chase it. Tomas is trying to run out with Seed, and Seed is actually going to stay alive. Same with Raymond.
Classy with the late pick on a flank. This opens up the mid for Feint, and Seven really has to run, but Solentis is hiding in the mid.
Class on the back cap as well.
Feint doesn't know until
no, Solentis, we're 2K. Seeds and Lucas again. Another
Solentis
2K.
over and over again, just securing these crucial picks for his team. I feel like it's a one-man army at this point.
Captain getting classes. There's only 3 up right now. The side of Feint not looking strong now. Feint coming into this quite hard. Oh no, there's BM in chat. Feels good, man.
Feels good, man. It's always a land environment. It's the true land environment when we are free to basically just trash talk and chat.
Banny, stay home. Whoopsies, that was my sister.
And full Uber at Seven's pushing through this PC area. I mean, you really want to be using through that door if you want to push this way, but it looks like they're going to be just taking it for free. We already see Sentry built on Olas on the Feint side. Seeds very close to his Uber, so it looks like it's going to be another
It doesn't matter. Seven want to take this right, and they know they have tiny wee advantage. They don't quite get Seeds to still have the Heavy just goes off into spawn. Both, Kadis traded there with Lucas, with Pappy in fact. No, look, yeah, both traded in fact. Classy going down, Captain going down. Starkey going to make a late push in. Salentez, he's just around the point, not much doing much. He's going to go down. Not the strongest push.
Why? What I don't understand is that second attempt from Seven. You really don't want to be dry pushing into a Heavy, especially if you don't have your demo man up. I mean, you can't really out damage the healing potential of a Heavy on a beam and the bows, but
We have...
Ubers.
Yeah, we have.
Tiny advantage for 7.
We have Sill on Spy again.
Sill. We've seen Sill basically just do magic this map so far. A couple of times. So what I'm expecting is a 2k at least.
2k minimum. You're expected. I mean, they're all up at secret now. Seeds is kind of expecting this. He's very much aware of, you know, I think they've got a slight suspicion, maybe.
Yeah, Seeds is really just wearing out his mouse feet right now, just sweeping left and right, looking for that spy. Yeah, I think they are aware.
Spidey senses are pinging. They moved up their gun a wee bit to a more open
Yeah, they are
position.
aware. Thomas
Yeah.
has checked for a spy and he's just flaming all over last.
Yikes. Oh, ooh, that was a close call. Starkey is not a Starkey Sill. Up now in secret, just waiting. They are quite now. Oh, well, they have. Well, the medic's in the dispensers. It's going to be quite hard to kill him now. Just now, probably waiting for one team to make one muck up, and then that's them.
So once the enemy team knows that they are playing spy, you can't really go for that meta pick. You really have to be looking at least to trade on someone on point. And I think that's what Sill is trying to do now. He's looking for that king pick and try and reset the game, you know, into 5v5 and then maybe changing to a different off class. But still nothing much happening from the 7th side. Sill is just chilling on last.
He's literally just standing still. The one misspin rocket and the Faint are really paranoid about Sill right now. They are not liking the fact he's
actually gets spotted. Like,
yeah. They all run back. That was that's a way to get out right there. So that was quite impressive.
But Sill is still staying in. It looked like he's gonna go back to spawn and change class, but he's just rotated and went back in. But I think Faint at this point are for sure aware of the soft class.
9 minutes on the clock. You know, it's enough time for a round or two. But
Silenta's decock in, going for it.
no, doesn't get him.
Herald.
Cringe. Cringe indeed. Guys, we need to buff the spy, of course. You know, get the generalist class. You know, have that going. That doesn't matter either way. Silentez is going to, Silentez is going to spawn something else. Go back in the soldier.
Is he? Silentez is still staying.
Oh, Thomas hit a 150 on Thalash there. He could have a sniper now.
Yeah, Faint is really trying to look for an opening there. They really don't want to be stuck holding last against 7. I mean, worst case scenario, you're looking at the round reset, but that's whole 6.5 minutes. This is literally just holding onto their dear lives at the moment, and it's snipers on both sides. This is Starkey and Thomas. Just going for a 2v1v1 sniper duel. As Starkey's moving into 1. Is Thomas aware?
I think he may be aware. He sees the lash in lobby. He's still peeking there. Was Starkey spotted? I think he was.
So now both teams with 1 sniper up each. It's really going to come down to who's going to hit their shots.
And Starkey, he's now there. He's getting spammed out now. You know about this. You know about the sniper. He's got just a shot on one of the Faint soldiers spamming from 5 there.
But Kate is in a very dangerous spot, just peeking Thomas all the time. I'm surprised that Thomas missed like 2 or 3 shots in a row with Katus.
He misses another one. And oh, he's not a fan of that one.
Why did he put a wall there? He's so upset.
Choke. Choke of 1. Not the worst choke. 7 loses is going to be the worst choke. I mean, Starkey is just another one of these stalemates where it's like one team does something like a stupid thing, aka go for a fight with a sniper. Like they could get a round reset and go back, but then it's going to be a 2.5 minute round. Oh, Cadis, 2 pipes on the Thomas.
Cadis going down after eating body shot from Thomas to happy spam rocket, and now 7 is stuck with basically a sniper and no demo man. This is gonna be tricky to hold if Faint decides to push up, but I think Faint is just happy.
Yeah, Pape on the battalions as well. He's got the spam, he's got the battalions ready for the if they take a trade. But I think they're going to be using this, they're going to probably take a trade and then use the backup, as they did on Gully to secure one of the rounds. But Thomas, I guess a 150 on Thalash there again. A headshot on a captain. No.
Very nice shots from Thomas, but none of them were kills, and that's really what you're looking for when you're playing a stalemate. They start looking into the lobby now. Get the lower stairs, not finding anything yet.
Yeah. Thomas sees the feet. He must like that's gonna be taken out of context.
Thomas sees feet.
Thomas does see feet, and he shoots the feet and gets. Papi has an air shot on Celentes through a spam rocket. That was.
I think that was
Yeah.
synchronized play together when Papi was hitting a spam rocket and then Thomas body shotting him. Not even body shotting, just toe shotting. Celentes there.
Foot shot.
Goes an insta kill.
That was a good way. That's one way to kill a soldier up there, isn't it? Thomas on spy, checking if Starkey's still on. Maybe Thomas is going to go spy. The role reversal. I think he's just checking.
Starkey getting an entry pick on Gink, and now once they're down, that opens up a door to peek. You don't have that much spam of potential, and Papi reading this situation so well, instantly rotating to that one area.
But he's so weak. That's
Starkey peeking so aggro through one, missing the shot as Seeds is just sitting in his dispenser.
Classic going down. Wait, what? Captain was just spamming. Captain,
Actually
what?
getting the force off from the spam, so
Huh?
now they're gonna be looking at holding this last without a sentry gun.
And their battalions just popped as well.
And the battalions got popped as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is not looking good for Feint right now. They've lost all their defensive measures.
Starkey's running back to switch off of Sniper as well, so 7 with the cookie cutter set up, 2 scouts ready to get on the cap as soon as Raymond uses his Uber. I'm guessing it's gonna be a lobby version.
Yeah, I see no reason why wouldn't. No, maybe it's from 1 in fact. They're going down through 1. Cadis is going to jump right in, hits the pipe on his Seeds. Oh, he's down like that. He's on the heavy now. They're going to clean up fast. Oh, Thomas get the lash. Thomas, Kovac aim trainer by the way, not the same org, but still, go away. Everyone's just bombing in. We see Papi go and get Cadis. Captain getting on the cleanup. Maybe it was an extra damage or tick of damage. Doesn't matter. Celentes is up top. The demo man's flying in the air. Scout as well, but 7's going to take a round off Feint.
And it's going to be 3-1 for 7, and the game's being paused by Seeds. So it's probably going to be a technical issue, maybe from the Feint side, but coming into this map very strong. Feint got the first round, but then 7 started to play more organized, more well put together, and through these slow stalemates they started finding picks, and I think Feint, what they want to do is try and not make these silly mistakes that are going to be, costing them rounds. Yeah,
the Feint were playing quite passive this game compared to the previous one or any other games. They know that this is the game that gets them into the grand final or not. Also, I'm on the stage. That's kind of cool. We on it as well.
Oh, you're on the stage.
That's why everyone moved. Hi. Way up used to.
Wave.
There's a cow cam.
Camera set up as well.
Oh, this is fancy.
You guys are on TV. Say hi.
You're on front page, I think. Oh, hi, Turbo.
Hi, Turbo.
Yeah, we esports. We electronic sports now.
All right, so it looks like we will be testing that equipment for the finals game, where we will actually have players sitting on those chairs and, trying to show off
the skill.
Their skill.
Yeah, and hopefully the teams aren't choked or choking as much as the gamers are in this game.
And we have the game on pause, so we will be going live to mid number 4, 2-1 for 7. Feint with the 1 map advantage, but 7 is looking very strong coming into the second map with 4.5 minutes left. And we see Papi doing super fast rollout on Cadis and actually fighting him in the sewer area, and 7 is just
going in for the high. Feint's going in for the high bombing right now, in fact. But they're losing one of the soldiers. Gink is weak, Class is weak, everyone's weak. Starkey getting Papi right there. Celentes all going down. It is 2 soldiers down. It's not looking like the best mid. Another one of these scrappy, long fought ones. But we do see Lucas getting juggled about. Katie's hitting the pipe on him, the lash going down. The Gink's rockets. Classy with a mad space gun, mad pure ray gun in that, man. But 7 are going to get out.
Both 7 scouts are super overextended, disconnected from their team, just letting you look to fight one.
They're coming back in fact, the soldiers.
With no scouts in, you can't do this, 7.
They're getting greedy, but
these are not scrims. This is one lower bracket final, and Uber is being used on Seed's side.
They're going to need to try and get Cadis. They do get Cadis. Raymond just dropped Cadis. He's going to be so angry because he never got pressed his second keyboard to control Raymond right there. What is going to happen? They're going to need to do something now. They're going to use the Uber onto Lash. Getting Pappy. They're going to chase Seeds. Seeds goes down Captain's Rockets. Is a complete wipe. Captain getting another frag. Genk being completely shut down in their choke. Not looking like the strongest decision there to keep on fighting.
That was a weird Uber from the Feint side. I mean, they had the mid secured and Seven was already falling back, and then suddenly Seeds just decides to use this Uber, and Raymond basically had no reason to use his, and then they were just able to repush into mid and just jump in so aggressively and chase these frags, now pushing into last with around 30%, 35% advantage, already securing that second point. But Feint is already out.
Thomas was in, Lucas was in as well. What are they doing? They're all losing players.
Left and right. Classy's the only player remaining, and there are 2 players already on last for Classy.
Classy getting captain, but it doesn't matter, they're going to cap.
3-1 for 7, and it's looking very, very, very dire for Feint. I mean, being 2 rounds down, 2 minutes left on the clock, you have to have some crucial changes in your game plan right now. You have to be winning these 2 rounds back to back, basically just rolling them, and we don't see any crazy off classes on either.
12 Kato! He made it!
Give it up for Kato.
Well done, Cadis. You're back. Kato roll out, by the way. Now, this mid, let's hope it's not like last mid, where it was everywhere. Genk's in, Pappy gets the lash. Genk's in, but he doesn't really do it. A few rockets, that damage there and there. Seven looking healthy compared to Feint. Lucas really weak. Selectus in, gets seed just like that. Lucas going down as well with Starkey. Cadis going down. Everyone's, it's one of these mids again. It's not looking good. Raymond still alive though. I think they can get out. Pappy's only one up. Genk has just spawned, so it's not.
Seven's just really good at playing these passive mids. I mean, they just have 2 scouts playing around the medic demo man combo, and then Selentus and Captain just combined these crucial picks. I mean, when you have your medic secured and you get the enemy medic pick, that's basically a mid one as long as he plays fully defensively, right? And now coming into second, there are
Genk's in.
Pushing the full Uber advantage, but Feint is being pushed by the clock, so they're just trying to play this nice and aggro, but Starkey's already at last. Yeah, it's behind Seeds.
Lash is down 7.
The easy 2-shot for Stark. Uber being used on the 7 side.
Starkey's in. What's he up to? He's going in deep. He's doing it for the log now. They know they've got this map in the bag. 45 seconds left in the clock. It doesn't matter. This is all for there's garbage time now. Pappy going in, getting a direct on Captain. He's going to take another fight with a soldier on I think it was Captain who's joined in. He's going to run away with his pickaxe. No iron for you tonight.
Basically a garbage time round, but 4-1, 2-7 with 30 seconds left. And we've seen these teams trade maps, right, so far. So 7's pick was Gully Wash, they lost that 2-1. And Feint's pick was Process, and now they're losing this. Basically 3-1. We can't call the last round a serious round.
On the log, it counts though.
On the log it counts, 5 seconds left. 1-1 series tied, and we are gonna go to tiebreaker map.
This is getting interesting this year. We don't know who. We've got one map, the decider map, to see who actually gets into the grand finals to versus Saint NA, the best American team with the best American players, and not Froyo.
7 just coming in strong after their first map loss. You know, they're really trying to get on that stage as they do every year that you guys are seeing live
on the big TV.
Right now on the big TV. But our analysts are looking ready to take it away. They're going to be talking more about how the game went. So take it away, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, Adiski and Plonk, and also big yow to the people at the main stage. Let's hear it. Yow? Yeah, okay, there we go. We got him going. Yeah, we're excited to be here at Insomnia Land. Also, very excited with this series as it continues. You know, I think all of us were feeling faint after that first map, but not quite able to put it together here. Alba, what were your thoughts on process?
I think towards the start we still saw that a little bit shaky 7 that we saw in the previous map, but then towards the like 15-minute mark, I believe it was, they started to get some big plays from Selentus, and I think that really led the charge for the whole team and just made them feel more comfortable playing.
Dom, what did you think about process here?
Yeah, I would agree too. At the beginning, Feint was still being led to be able to play their game, right? It was like a lot more aggressive in the first few minutes. Feint got a really quick round early on, And for the first time in what feels like this entire event, 7 has shown off the adaptability that we know they are capable of.
Yeah.
It didn't take them a long time, where it otherwise was every single time too little too late. They figured out what they need to do to fix it. The game was massively slowed down again, a lot of sniping for a good 10 minutes or so, and eventually they cracked the last hold, and from then on they just had a stranglehold on the map for the rest of the series.
Yeah, certainly pumped the score up a bit. And flipping over to our logs here, it does look like we are going to have some interesting stuff here. And actually, top fragger was Tomas there, 21-9 as his score. Alba, anything else that you want to point out here?
Yeah, I mean, Papi putting in good work, but you see the soldiers and Demo on 7, Katis, Captain, and Silentes just all throw in pretty big damage numbers, and I think that really brought the difference in this map towards the end.
Tom, do you think there's an issue on this map with Lucas Stank, or maybe perhaps 7 switching strategies a bit to try to counter him and subdue him?
I think it's just a trend that we've seen all weekend now, is that more and more Feint is just slowly going back to the really heal-heavy pocket style, where previously they've been highly relying on the Demo and Lucas to lead all of the charges. Papi now has been, over this entire weekend, been on receiving the most heals, taking the most damage, and it seems to be working. It seems to be going back to older strats to beat the new 7 here.
Yeah, and a quick note, particularly for our crowd here at Birmingham and the NEC, the community photo, this next map is going to cut into that, and we're just going to reschedule until right after this match is done. So as soon as we conclude with this 3rd map, and of course the analysis afterward, we're all just going to put things on pause and run outside, take that photo. Let's pull up those medic stats real quick to take a look at that, though, as well. And heals actually real close there. Deaths with Uber at 95 to 99%. Seeds, though, having 2 of those. I'm pretty sure one of those was that Silentes bomb into Secret, which was just crazy. Anything else that you'd like to talk about here, though, Alba, what you see?
I mean, you can see how much Seeds is building by Thomas being in top of the logs. Usually in this type of a slow game, you won't see that much heals on Scout because there's not a lot of situations where they need the heals more than just a buff. So on the 7 side, we see a lot of heals going into Kados just because of that.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you want to mention about the medics?
I mean, like you mentioned before, the 2 deaths in almost 100% territory for Seeds are a huge difference maker. 7 is slowly back coming down after a somewhat shaky first map, and that sort of small timing windows, being able to execute on these is such an important thing to have for your team. It just makes a difference between what is effectively either a force or an awkward trade at best, compared to just having the medic effectively drop in a really, really crucial situation. 7 coming back with their own timings, Lentis, like you said, especially finding these again is making all the difference for them.
Yeah, and a little field report that I got was basically that first map ended, and Kata stood up and goes, right, time to get down to it, boys. Let's go. Let's give a pep talk. We're not privy to what was said there, but Alba, we did see Silentes, step up, become more involved in the game here. Also, the Lash has always been, a cornerstone for 7. What do you think, were some of the adjustments that we could kind of glean that they made here to improve their performance on process?
I think something that Kados would be saying to his players is something along the lines of let's play our game and just try to enable everyone to play their best. And I mean, it really looked like it worked on Silentes. I mean, he had some really big plays that match, and if you get one player started, then the rest will follow in line and get fragging.
And what do you think are the key points for Feint to take away from process there? They had a strong first map, and that can be tough in a best-of-3 series, to go from being 1-0 up and being like, all right, we did so awesome on that map. We just got to win this next one, easy peasy. And then all of a sudden the other team, makes some adjustments, and they end up with, on the scoreboard was a pretty strong performance. What do you think Feint needs to do to make sure that they stay focused going into Granary here, and perhaps some adjustments that they can make themselves to improve?
They can't ever let the pressure up. They had a really, really strong start. They need to get back to those sort of fundamentals that they were able to execute. 7 is always going to try to counter-strat, so you need to constantly innovate and see how can we get back to what we're best at and not let 7 be able to play their game. Exactly like Alba said, that's what 7 wants to do. They want to slow the game down, and Granary will certainly enable that a lot more than a map like Process should be able to. So it's not going to get easier from here for Feint, I think.
And Alba, you mentioned to me as well that you felt like Feint beating Ascent EU was probably kind of like a strong boost to them mentally. Being able to kind of break through a matchup that they've struggled with before. Unfortunately, also, Feint has oftentimes been third place in a bunch of tournaments due to the presence of Ascent NA here. Despite overcoming Ascent EU, they might get pushed down into this third place spot. Kind of similar to you, what does Feint need to focus on here, to get themselves jazzed up, to make sure that they keep this momentum and not only just break their curse against Ascent EU, but also prosper over 7?
Yeah, I think what they need to focus on is just getting back to that the mental state that we're at in the first map. Not tense up, but stay calm and collected and play their game. Because as soon as you tense up, you miss shots, and then it's 7's game.
And Dom, do you think that there's anything in particular that Feint might bust out on Granary here? We saw maybe a little bit more unorthodox plays from them and goalie wash. That's also sort of the map. Do you think that there's some things on Granary that they might do to try to disrupt this kind of chokeholds that 7 is known for?
I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they tried different things out we haven't seen before. Granary middle is a really, really high area you have around the choke point. So maybe King can try sort of these high bombs again, maybe even with the Beggar's Bazooka. Sniper is traditionally favored only around the last point area because you have the safer sidelines to play around, where on mid you don't really have a good sideline into enemy territory without committing really deep. Maybe that's not what they need. Just take the risk to put the sniper in really, really far into enemy territory, to take the risk and then get the hero shot they need. Something like that might just make the difference. And again, we've seen a lot of banner play from Feint. Be it single banner, double banner. They've shown they're capable of using those to great effect. Grand is a map that allows for, I think, all 3 banners to have a really good effect on the map. You have a lot of open area in a few points like last, so the buff banner itself can just get the damage over distance really nicely. You have the wide open area to abuse the conch, the heals, the speed will be useful, and the closer areas around second, for example, favor the battalion's backup really nicely. So whatever situation they're in, there's always something they can make use of with that banner play.
Alba, anything you want to add in regards to the banner or possible other alpha classes we might see like Pyro?
I'm hoping to see Gink picking up the black box conch again. We saw it briefly on, I believe it was Sunshine versus Ascent NA. So I'm hoping to see him take that load out. And then Papi, if he chooses buff banner or battalion's backup, either one is fine, depending what they feel that they need. But I would really like to see a double banner play from them.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Do you think that that's something that we would see in open play, or maybe once things kind of start to slow down at last?
Yeah, I think in a yard to second stalemate is probably an area where we will see banners, because it's quite easy for a soldier to build those banners in those tight quarters.
Yeah. And going to this last map, or sorry, the previous map, we talked a bit about the kind of the defensive options. How the open play, was pretty interesting, but we spent a bunch of time on last, and some of the off classes that we saw there. The capability to quick switch off sniper, maybe not as easy on Granary as it is on Process. Do you think we'll still be seeing, engineer, or do you think we'll have a heavy on the pipe? Do you think we'll get 3 off classes holding last dumb, or what do you think the strategies might see?
I think the option is entirely there for all of those. It depends on the situation a bit itself, depending on how much time there's to build a gun. If you barely can get a level 2, maybe just take the heavy. Use the fact that you have some ability to dodge around. Sniper, like you said, you have the spawn line to keep in mind. You need to be able to quickly go far enough back into spawn to not get hit by anything. So the sideline is really good for you. You just need to be a little bit more careful than on some other maps for it.
And we did get predictions from both of you before this series, got underway. Now that we're 2 maps down, we're getting into that final map. Want to give you a possibility to, either change your answer or just extrapolate on how you think that Granary will go. Quickly, Alba.
I think I'm staying with 7.
Okay.
I think they really picked up the pace, so I think they can do it.
And from you, Dom?
My heart still says Feint. My brain is leaning towards 7 now, but I still believe they can do it and bring the upset.
All right, well, thanks for the insights, guys. We'll have to see where the chips fall in the next 30 minutes. And to lead us through that action, we're going to go to our casting duo who've been doing an excellent job so far, Plunk and Adiski. Take it away, guys.
Hi, we're back again on the big screen again. We're on a third map, Granary. Notorious 7 map from Rewind, if you remember that whole thing.
I don't think I reckon.
It was the Froyo where they were like the 2 3 second cap. Remember that?
That was not Rewind.
Was it? It was.
I played that.
Yeah,
It was like 6-3.
Was it? No, I swear to God, it was
3
Rewind.
second left on the cap.
Oh yeah, the Froyo were here.
Yeah, Freya, we're here. Do you not remember?
I was drunk.
Okay. Fair enough.
You expect me to remember? You've seen my behaviour this year.
I absolutely did, Plunk, but we are getting ready into this last map, and as he said, it's a very slow map, Plunk. It's a very slow map, and 7 is a very slow team. So I think this map is going hand in hand with, you know, holding onto a point for a good old stalemate and just waiting for that one crucial pick to make things go. And but not many sniper options for this map, not many open sidelines as we saw before on the last map, but we will be going live
Now.
now.
We have the gamers jumping. We're on Granary, and this is a soldier and demo map basically. So it's going to be dependent on them. Scouts do help, but you know, it's all about the demo. And with Lucas getting 2 stickies on him right off the bat. Captain going to be jumping in. Yes, a shot. Classy and King, what are they up to? Raymond Salentes down already, but it doesn't matter. Starkey and Captain Cole on the goal with Cadis to get the rest of the Faint crew. Off the bat, 7 are really strong.
That was a really nice start of the mid where Cadis basically just bullied Lucas off the ground and just leaving him very weak even after the pack. And just the soldier aggression following up was just easy cleanup for 7, and now both medics going down. So maybe 7 will not be finding the second point. Captain is really deep and he will end up going down. He's getting cleaned up right now, so it's going to be 5v5 with Raymond on 20% ad, but the 7 point is already super guard. They're hitting over this top area.
Yeah, 7 they aren't playing any game. They want this grand final. They definitely want it. They're shooting sticks right now. How fun! Slint and Starkey. Oh, he seeds Lucas and Pappy all down. Slentes is going even deeper. I think I was like, no, he misses that on the pipe there. The last just going to walk on the point, gets this last shot on Ging. The headshot from Thomas though, but it doesn't matter at the end. Starkey and Sil.
That was such a fast round. I'm pretty sure the config is wrong again because I don't see the time limit, but
yeah,
that's why we will be pausing for the config again. But that was like a minute round, Plunk.
Yeah, now, although the config is broke again, which is a minor it can be fixed.
Yeah.
The Faint crew look like they've lost their vibe, let's put it that way.
They've lost their map 1 vibe, definitely a surprise.
They've lost their, we can just push in and then hold for the next 20 minutes with the battalion's backup. And they've just been rolled on Granary. Although both teams have notoriously good players, the config's been fixed now, so we can now go back into the game.
Granary is just very well known for you wipe on mid, you can get very easily pushed all the way to last, and it's basically a fast round. So you really want to be looking after a medic on these mids, and we see Cadis rolling up top compared to last mid where we saw him rolling out the lower ground.
Low ground, yeah. And it seems this time we have bombs exchanged one side. Seed's going down to Salentes right now. That's Seed's down already. Pappy's down. King's down. There's only Classy, Thomas and Lucas alive, and they're being chased around. They're in blue. 7's been pushed back, although they lost Stark. Salentes,
So
Captain.
traced by Thomas.
But Flash and Starkey are keeping Raymond alive. Lucas is the only one left alive on mid, which is...
It was so well played by... Again, Silenta is just pulling it for his team, just getting seeds straight away on this mid, and then instantly as seeds goes down, the 7 players are instantly just holding as they're out, just defending their medic for their dear life, and they're already taking over this left-hand side with Cadis up front. There is no defense on the second point, Plunk, and it looks like it's going to be free for the 7 boys. Seeds on 50% means that 7 might be able to pick straight into last round supercharge advantage. Level 3 Sentry Gun already up on the last. Gink set up on this right-hand side door, looking for anything.
Doesn't quite get it, though. They do have a Sentry Gun. It's going to go down rapidly. That doesn't matter. They've got a Tommy Slap heavy, being piped. He's just mulched alive there. Happy getting captain, though. It doesn't matter. They're all trapped in spawn. Starkey clearing sticks. Needs to take a fight with the scout. It's all going. All of Feint are weak right now. Seeds, although he's nearly got Uber, he has to heal his teammates. He's 98%. He's going to defend it. Starkey has to get out. Oh no.
That was a very nice hold from Lucas, even though he got bullied back all the way back into spawn and he couldn't really see on the point. Just getting that crucial 2k, even though everyone was so weak, he could pull that back for his team, and now full Uber advantage.
Starkey's hiding though. He's going to go drop down. He's not feeling the 2 shot. He's not feeling the force.
Now, as I was saying, 100% add 4 seeds. They will be pushing into this right-hand side. But 7? 7's already in. Happy's fighting.
Happy's captain. Whoa, he lives?
Barely getting out with the
Oh, Lucas!
Nice fight from Lucas.
Doesn't matter.
For the HP, but Lucas killing tayyy as well.
And he's still alive. That's the worst part.
And he
Not worse.
survives indeed. Raymond repushing mid with his gang. 50%, no Uber charge.
The air shot from Gink, denying the bomb onto the seat right there. Oh my!
Gink just saving his mid right there and then, and they're gonna be holding onto this mid, but Raymond on 90% already. Let's see where Cadis is gonna take his boys. Looks like it's gonna be their area.
Yeah, I think maybe Scout will go. Whoa! Oh, that was. That could have ended badly there for Pete. Oh, the Scout nearly fallen down there. Another trap, maybe they spot it. Gink is down right now. Starkey into Lash on the beam. It looks like getting the heals. They're being quite aggro. They're just pushed Feint out without using Uber. A Feint know they have. If they hold back, they can have their Uber. But it doesn't matter. 7 will go in. They're going to need to take a trade. They're in like that. Flash on the Scouts to flash. There's too many flashes. Gink, Pappy and Lucas are still. Oh, they died last round. It doesn't matter. Last wave. But they're in.
Just getting cyberbullied right now. I mean, they just got pushed from their own mid and into last. It's Captain going to lash with all of these rockets, and tayyy just cleaning up his damage. And I'm still trying to understand what just happened, because it didn't look like Feint was putting up any fight there. Literally just holding on to mid. They were falling back from mid, just losing 2 players for no reason, and then just getting pushed all the way into second with the 7 team. Aggressive trade on second, just getting picks, more and more picks, and it's gonna be round 3. We're only 6 minutes in, and it's duo up for 7. Doesn't look very promising for Feint.
Yeah, and you had Lucas roar from Gary. But another big bomb in comes from the soldiers. They're going to get on. Seeds down already. Salentes did it again. Would you look at that? Who's seen that one coming? The last getting Gink. Hades going down as well. Classy. No, it's heal ads right now. It's a PV. Well, heal ads, and there you go.
And this is basically just deja vu, just over and over again. Seeds instantly down.
Oh, classy! Whoa!
Shot on tayyy. But yeah, I mean, Seeds, I don't think Seeds has been on mid for longer than maybe 10 seconds combined in these 3 mid fights. He instantly arrives and still is on him like butter on toast.
They don't. It's like they don't know how to deal with the high bomb. They don't know how. It's just Sill appears, Seeds gone within like the next 2 rockets he fires. It's not. It's inhuman what that man has done to Seeds.
And Seeds very well known for his, really good serves as well. It's very sad seeing him, not being able to serve these rockets from Salentes. But Salentes is, really good soldier, gotta give him respect, but we are gonna be putting class of Uber advantage. Yes, on Hades just taking out the second gun. Eddie's being focused down on the right hand side. Everyone from Feint is in the spawn. Seeds has 96%, barely gets his Uber. Is he gonna pop it? He's gonna be popping it off, trying to get the salvage frag. Skate is jumping super deep in, and everyone from 7 is just on the high ground, and they're looking to repush this.
He goes in, he gets the pipe on Gink, he's dropping down, it doesn't matter. He never got Seeds though, unfortunately, but Seeds did take a lot of damage. Look at pipe and a sticky splash, I'm pretty sure.
And 7 is just gonna be saying, okay, even after we repush, we can't secure the best Starkey in this.
Oh.
Damage from Lucas. barely getting out, but 30% out. And Luke, spam from Silentes opening up so much. Raymond already on 85%. Lucas is not going to make it into this last defense in time. And Seven's already deep and they're not getting spammed at all. There are 2 Solis on the high ground, but the Uber is being used on Cadis. Cadis is shooting the sentry gun. Sentry is going down. Heavy on the high ground being taken care of. No stickies on the point.
Oh no!
That Seven can just walk on the point without any defense and pause going from the feint side. I'm guessing this is just going to be a tactical pause at this point.
Attack pause indeed. Feint kind of need to get how to put this nicely, kick up the arse to realise what they're up to. You know, they need to. What's wrong? What we can see is high bombs every mid. They don't know how to deal with it.
I don't think I've seen much Granary being played this LAN altogether. So I think Feint has just not prepared for Seven and how aggressive, especially they are playing on Granary out of any map, really. Like Seven, we've seen Seven play against Ascent, just having a 10-minute stalemate, just holding last, and right now Seven's just rolling. I'm looking at the timer now, and we are barely 8 minutes into the game, and it's already 3-0, and Feint really has to change something. I mean, especially on mid, Seeds is just dying all the time.
And the soldiers, although they do get frags, it's not like they're not like, you know, getting the big impact pick. You know, they're getting Seeds right off the bat within the first 10 seconds of every mid, and they don't know what to do. It's just a scrappy fight after that for Feint. They don't back out, they just kind of double down, I suppose, and all die.
Basically. But Silentes, if I had to choose an MVP of this tournament, or of this match, not tournament really, but this match alone, it's gonna be Silentes.
This bracket, I'd say, is so as well.
I mean, how many times have we mentioned this name? But we are going live now to mid number 4, 3-0 for 7.
We're on third person cam. Now, let's see how Lucas goes this mid. He's going up top, 34 HP, so did Cadis. 1 HP! Oh, what a... that was a close one there. Now, let's see what's happening here. Gink and Pappy are delaying the bomb. Silentes is down. They realise what's happening now. They're going to need to get Kado. He's surfing rockets. Starkey onto Classic. Gink, Bosso, Classic and Gink now down. The med is still alive. Seeds is still alive. Pappy's down. Both soldiers are down on the side of Fate. They're going to need to get out. And Cadis eating pipes and damage. Another... Oh, that was a sticky. But
and on that mid, we saw a change from Feint. They were like, oh, so what is Seeds dying to every time? It's going to be Silentes. So they instantly focused on Silentes, but drawing so much attention, Seven was just able to push through that far left-hand side and just getting 2 picks straight away, trading for Silentes, and it was just an easy secured mid, but at least Seeds is staying alive, so we might see a better, you know, second hold instead of a last hold here, but all of Seven is positioning this far left-hand garage, trying to see if they can spot a player to kill.
So Silentes is jumping in, doesn't look, it's quite weak. Seeds never even took any damage during that Pappy took some of it, but, you know, maybe try and get a force, maybe get Lucas down, it doesn't matter. Captain is just outside Z. See what he gets up to. Soldier. Oh, he rocked up to spam him out. Gink's watching Lunchbox. Pappy hitting a nice direct. It doesn't matter. Cadis is going to get the sticky just outside Z. Picking him off.
I was about to point out Pappy was running buff banner, and that's something that most teams don't expect, but we are seeing.
Lash, he's in. The Uber Seeds is going to need to use, but it's a bit slightly better Uber. Maybe try and get him catched off Lucas. It's going to be one of these weird Granary second fights. Captain getting Lucas down. Fate need to get out. They've not got players. They've lost 2 players now. Not the best look for this last hold right now. As Seven are going to be making their way on the left-hand side. Pappy is still in. Try to do a wee bit of damage to behind. Gink down now, dying to Cadis. Pappy going in, getting Silentes right off the back. Cadis on the point with the pain train. The scout's going to not do anything, and everyone just goes on at the point 7, and that's the 4th round done.
And Seven is just full rage on mode right now. They're just rolling through Feint like a hot knife through butter. Like there is nothing Feint can't do. Pappy was trying to switch it up and running buff banner there, but before he got his first rocket off, he got picked instantly, and then Uber trade following up from top on Talash, and after the Uber, Seven just cleaning up paint left and right.
Yeah, this is the flick the switch for Seven. And either Seven of you scrim this map or not, it doesn't matter. They're going to Captain, delay his bomb. He goes Seed suffering rockets. He's still alive. He gets the pack. Oh my god. This man, what's he up to? He's still alive. Flash chasing everyone down though. How? Seeds is basically going to die, although maybe not. He's run back at his last now. How did he get out? Genuinely, what a legend.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. He hits the wall as he's running away from Start, but Start is 1v1ing him here on us. But Seeds is still alive.
Suffering the damage.
Is he still gonna get out? He's
How?
50 HP. Starts
How?
beefing these shots. 19 final.
Oh.
Very unfortunate for Seeds there. I mean, so much effort to stay alive there, but dying so late. I mean, he's gonna be missing for this last hold, as Seven's already capping second point, and I don't think Seeds is gonna make it up in time.
No.
Plus, he's building a gun for his team. Seeds are only now getting up, but 100% for Raymond, and they're just getting set up to maybe finalize the game. If they end it now, if they get the round, they have a stage spot secure. So this is due.
Well, Kado's already in. He's doing the usual, get the sentry gun out of the way, maybe go for the heavy, but they'll have a heavy. They have a pyro this time. They've sort of switched out. They're going to get in Seeds. Kado's missing the pipe. He does, kills himself to get Seeds. Captain and Pappy going in. They're on the point. It's only two up. Pappy's only one up. And Seven on the point. And it's going to be a 4-0. And Seven secure themselves a place in the grand final against Ascent NA.
And that's a classic 5-0 roll. Hey, you guys, look at you guys.
Hey, right,
Give it up for Seven.
Right, stop dabbing. No dabbing. No more. Please, you can clap. Don't dab though.
And
that's turbo virgin behavior.
I think I'm saying this for everyone, but I think this is the final we were expecting, Punk.
This is the performance I was expecting from Seven off the bat.
Yes, this is what we were expecting from Seven, basically all tournament. You know, clean cut, 5-0, no bumps, but the tournament has been so close. But now Seven securing a final spot for themselves. They're gonna be headed over against Ascent NA, and that's gonna be happening tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's time for our big brain gamers at the desk to take it away and tell us why Seven did well, and we are too small to realise how it happens. I don't know.
Take it away, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for the excellent casting, Plunk and Adiski. And yeah, kind of a shocker. I mean, I think in even the invite groups and probably even in the open group stage, we didn't really see all that many 5-0s. And then also to just kind of have that stomped out in 13 minutes, pretty brutal stuff. Let's get some just quick initial reactions from you guys, Alba.
I mean, for me, this is kind of classic Seven. This is why they are so good. They're just like one of the best teams at adapting, and that's exactly what they did.
Thoughts from you, Dom?
Yeah, I expected this map to be in Seven's favor for sure with how Granary just inherently plays, but I didn't expect it this much. Feint looked kind of lost it sometimes, and Seven just took every opportunity all the way. They just were relentless in the last pushes, took everything they could in terms of space taken, and the moment Feint tried to react to anything, the point was already played too much for them to even reach it anymore.
And a quick reminder for the crowd here at Birmingham, we are going to have our traditional community photo taking place out in the atrium. So if you're going to go anywhere, please go over there. We're not going anywhere just yet. We want to take a look at our logs and share a few more thoughts on this match, how it went. Of course, we'll get into the grand finals analysis when we get there. Wow, Starkey, 15 kills, 1 death. Alba, anything you want to point out here?
Yeah, I mean, when the rest of the team plays so well, you can just shine as a scout because the work is kind of laid ahead of you. Of course, Starkey playing really well and hitting good shots, but when you have Kado's captain and Thalash there as well doing so well, I mean, this is a 5-0 log, and you can see it in the numbers.
Yeah, it's just the story of the machine working perfectly, right? Like, the flank scout is not the one that wants to necessarily take the fights. He's not the one that should take the most damage at all, not necessarily the one that needs to deal the most damage. And like, everybody doing the work, and Stark is just there to clean it up every time and never had to be in danger for it, as you can see. So it just all worked out exactly as Seven intended.
Fun fact, Starkey took less damage than Raymond.
Ouch. So let's take a look at the medic stats real quick. And I got a question for you, Dom. I mean, obviously, this is a tough loss for Feint to swallow. You know, at least process went a little bit more into it. The question being, do you think that goalie wash was the exception, or do you think that process and granary were problematic maps for Feint, and perhaps under different maps they would have performed better?
I mean, at this point, it's hard to say that Grand wasn't, at least to some degree, problematic like Snakewater was for 7 yesterday. So it's definitely an argument to make here, but at the end of the day, 7 just improved over the course of the series massively to the point where it was like almost unrecognizable how they played the first map compared to the last one. And in the end, that's what you need, right? You need to be able to step up to the task if the enemy requires you to do so. And Feint certainly did at the beginning of the game. So 7 just stepped up massively over the course of these 3 maps.
Well, yeah, certainly with a 13-minute stop, not too much to say about granary. Disappointing from us, just on behalf of Feint. Those guys obviously got to be feeling it to take such a kind of a harsh loss to end their tournament, to end up at 3rd place. I think we do have plenty of thoughts about 7 moving forward, but we are also going to have some time later to get into the analysis of that, our predictions for this grand finals. The community photo, as we mentioned, is starting to happen, and that's always a wild, crazy affair. So you know what? I think that we're just going to cut this maybe a little bit short, our normal post-game wrap-up. We're going to head over there to make sure that we don't get left out. Nobody wants to get left out of I-65, which is a fantastic event. Everybody who's thinking about coming to the I-Series should certainly look forward to doing that in the future. But right now we're gonna split. We're gonna head over to that community photo. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The grand finals, I think about in an hour time. It's gonna be awesome. I'm super hyped for that. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next time.
turn to you, you're my number one. Good days and bad days can't compare to the feeling I have when I got you near. So hold on tightly that you'll never let me go. Hold on tightly, we won't break if we fall. Hold on so tightly that you'll never let me go. Hold on so tightly, together we are unshakable. Unshakable, 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 unshakable. Bye.